All right. Almost, Royce. I see you in the background looking worried, man. Welcome back to the Urban Academia Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Zilla, and today I'm going to have a few guests with me. I know we had a plan, y'all. Here's what happened. You know what? I'll save it. I want to be mindful of your time. Don't worry about it. Just know that he's busy, and it's not going to stop this great conversation. So I'm going to introduce you guys one by one. We'll start with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Royce Massengill. What's up?
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Royce the Voice. Orange Click, Orange Leader. Shout out to K-King. Speak your thoughts or lose your mind, man. Y'all seen me before, you know what I mean? I'm just excited about the guest that we have now. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Listen, man, that's a tough act to follow. I don't know why I didn't just put you up fourth, that gummy. We're going to let someone else get themselves together back there. And we're going to, listen, man. First of all, I got so many questions. One, how this name come to be? And is she a Game of Thrones fan? Welcome to the show.
Hello, world. My name is Ashley Collins, aka the Aunt of Dragons. Thank you so much for having me on. I love your show, and I like to consider Royce like a good friend. I hope he likes to think me as that. So thank you for having me on.
No problem. Thank you for being here. My goodness. He is coming and rounding up. Listen, our wonderful panel here is Miss Asia. Hello, Miss Asia.
Hey, how y'all doing? Appreciate you having me here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So look, let's get, first of all, I need those questions answered. The Aunt of Dragons. Where did the name come from?
So I am a massive Game of Thrones nerd. And when I was starting with social media, I wanted to be the mother of dragons, but it was already taken. So I lazily just said, I'll just be the aunt. It wasn't anything. It was just a lazy thing.
Is she?
I have a Game of Thrones tattoo actually on my ribs.
Oh,
of what? Is it a dragon?
It's fear cuts deeper than swords.
Ooh, okay. You got the tagline. I'm just imagining Drogo sitting on top of that phrase and then the tail wrapping around. Come on, man. I'm not an artist. I just have good ideas every now and then. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What do you do? And what are you hoping to accomplish with this conversation about the issues between men and women?
I think this discussion is, forgive me for sounding cruel, but I think that this discussion is so silly. I think the bigger issue is what's happening with children. The issue with men and women is, I was talking to someone the other day where I was saying, if I hold another door open for a man, I'm going to scream. Because I feel like sometimes I'm the man in the room. Because there are so many weak, fragile boys walking around who don't want to be a man, and I don't understand why. What's so scary about being a man? And maybe you guys could explain that to me, because I know that I'm afraid of being a woman. Like, we have our bodily issues happening as we get older, but as a man, if something goes bad, you should be the first one to sprint, not me. So I think that we need to focus on making these boys men and making sure that our children are taken care of, not fighting about, oh, I can't find a man. Yeah, you can't. You probably won't. Sorry, buy a cat. You know?
Look, all we're missing is the right? Martin Kevin Samuels. No, okay, that's interesting. Hold that thought too. Miss Asia will be back shortly, I hope. But Royce, what is your tell the people first off what you do, and then a little bit.
My name is Royce Massengill. I'm an artist, writer, producer. I am a podcast guy, you know, a radio voiceover. Podcast called Royce's Rant, which will be relaunching soon. Just getting some things done. I'm also, I don't want to say an orator, but I am a public speaker. You know what I'm saying? So more than just speaking on things that are out here in the world, I kind of speak on just my experiences I'm trying to gear towards that, because sometimes when you get caught up in generalizations, you lose people. So like, I try to base things off of my experience now. Yeah, I do a little acting on the side and stuff like that, and I'm a graduate of UAPB, and I am just a podcaster trying to make it in the world, man. Trying to quit my day job and do this full time along with our film work that me and Josh do. So that's
Shout out to you. Shout out to Josh, man. And of course, I'm your host, Jay Zilla, government name, Jeremy Gill Sr. Listen, man, I'm a DoorDasher extraordinaire. Okay. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world. I don't know what's wrong with me, but that's partly hearing the Aunt of Dragons is, I guess, talking about let's focus on the boys and making the boys, make sure we're growing them up to be good men, right? I had a job. It was extremely stressful, super hard, difficult, but necessary work. We specialize in dementia patients, most notably Alzheimer's, and just could feel the weight of like I was wearing it home. Every day I would go in, I have to give myself a pep talk. Like, it was excruciating work, and I had to find the podcast and stuff helped me not need the money from that job. And of course I'll supplement, but my wife has the big person job, which allows me to do all this stuff, right? But that's an interesting. I'm going back to your question. All right, I don't know if I should call you Miss Dragons. Like, is it all like a moniker, like one thing?
Either or, Miss Dragons or
I'm gonna be
or
Miss
Ashley.
the Aunt of Dragons. Now on. I just like how
people in person say, "Hey, Auntie," when they see me.
Oh, I like that. It's so cool, right? So yeah, I'm going back to your questions, Miss the Aunt of Dragons. Talk to me, like, expand a little bit more on how it is that you think we should be raising. I'm assuming that you're saying the boys, right? Because we men need more work, so let's focus on the boys. What are some of your ideas on how to start that process?
I hate to sound cliche, but you have to have a man in the house. You have to. I am extremely emotional. So actually, a couple of weeks ago, a husband and wife was walking with their kid, and they were acting stubborn, and the mother was like, "Oh no, it's okay, honey," and the dad was like, "No, he needs to get up." And I'm like, "No, that's right.
Interesting.
That's right. He does need to get up." But like, knowing me, I'd be like, "No, like, it's okay. Like, I'm gonna cuddle you like a teddy bear." But like, you need that balance. And so if you don't have a father figure around, you're gonna grow up to be soft. And like I was saying, like, I hate that. Obviously, this is weave, but I hate seeing men with hair longer than me. Cut your hair. Honestly,
let's go.
Honestly, cut your hair. What are you doing? Get your bangs out of your face. Act like a man. Like, did no one watch Tarzan? Did no one watch Dynamite? Like, did no one watch James Bond? Hey, like, what are you doing?
Tarzan had long hair for the record.
He did have long hair. Have long hair.
But I like this. So there's some tangibles. There's some tangibles there, Royce, that she's talking about, right? Cut your hair, don't be soft.
Yeah.
But who decides what those terms mean, and how can we sort of, I guess, get to some sort of shared reality as far as what they mean? Not I think this and you think that. What is the common footing we can have, Mr. Massengill?
Well, although I feel I'm gonna call it TT. That's, we call our aunties in the hood TT. So I feel that TT. I feel what she's saying. You know what I mean, from one side. But I also feel like, hey, listen, man, I feel like a man should be able to wear his hair how he wants to. The dreads, anything. I just feel like it should be kept neatly. Like, if you're gonna have a lot of hair, it would be cool just to keep it neatly. Make sure you what y'all call them, your roots, you know what I'm saying? The good, they ain't dusty, ain't got no little flakes flaking around, you know what I mean? Just presentable in a sense, you feel me? But I had no problem, because I used to have dreads too, until I got a bald spot and I had to cut it off, But I think as long as it's presentable, you know what I mean? Because man, there's so many things. Really, also, I mean, there's so many things against. I'm gonna say like this with black people when it comes to hair, and you know, when you see jobs and stuff, you know, you see this on the news and they're saying, oh, well, their hair is this, their hair is that, they can't do it. It's like, come on, man, like they can't help that they want to grow their hair and they like the way it naturally is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just right there in the middle with it, man. You know, just keep it presentable. You feel what I mean? To my man, you know, just don't care about your hair more than you do about, you know, other things. So there's some dudes out there be a little sassy with it now. Just every time they be, you know how girls be doing this all the time. when I start seeing dudes do that, I'm like, all right, chill out, bro.
Man, so if you're in between, I am sitting on your shoulders. Maybe like, you know, I'm registered independent. I'm always trying to be middle of the road because I've seen too much on one side or the other of all these separate, you know, arguments, right? So I can't discount everything, and everything isn't okay as far as I go. So like for me, my faith comes into play with a lot with that, which is, man, I'm not gonna judge anybody because I don't know if I'm gonna be okay with being judged myself.
Yeah,
it's a pretty simple rule for me, and it keeps things simple and peaceful. And I always get the like, oh, you're so nice. Like, oh, thank you. You know,
got dreads, right?
I do have dreads. Yes.
See, from the look of it, like you just got a box cut, but you keep
Oh,
you keep it neat. See, look at that.
Hold on, wait, hold on.
Let them know.
I'll put it up a little bit. What she's talking about is like, put those away. put them things away.
Yo.
Yeah, man. Sorry, now it's all over the place.
It's all good.
This is why I need to get to a point where I get some hair and makeup. Yeah. But, okay, so here's my thing. Like, I'm with both of y'all, but I think how society has set itself up is they look at all these tangibles, and that's sort of an external label of sorts, right? Oh, nice shoes. He's got a 3-piece suit. He just got out of an Aston Martin. He kind of cute, girl. You know what I mean? But like, he could be one of the biggest dogs ever. I think when I was a little smaller, I watched a movie with my mother and my 2 younger sisters. You know, from a single parent home, we always like to go to movies. So we went to go see a little movie that my mom knew nothing about. It was called Enough, starring Jennifer Lopez. And we're watching, and then boom, he slaps her, and we all go, "Ooh, what?" Right? And then like he was like, "What? Well, I can't slap you." He was like, "No, you can't slap me. You can't slap me. You can't do it." And then bow, he just punched her, and I literally laughed out loud. Like not like, oh, this is hilarious, but like, what? Like that level of shock. Because this man was a businessman. He wore a suit, nice house, nice car. In the beginning, the courtship, it was all fairy tales and stuff, right? And it was just that shocking and upsetting to see someone just go from love and, okay, you found about me cheating, now I slapped you, now I'm just gonna punch you like you're a grown man, right? So he had all those things you talked about, Miss the Aunt of Dragons, but he also punched her in the face. So what should we actually be teaching our boys to do now, knowing that part of it is there's some guys who look good who are just awful inside, and vice versa? Don't forget those.
I'm going to preface this by saying, and I know that, Royce, I don't know why you invited me on, because I'm going to get this guy canceled.
No, go.
I think Me Too ruined everything for real victims of domestic violence. The last time I was hit, he slammed my head on the dashboard of his car. But I can't say anything because no one will believe me. And
take your time.
I think that if you feel the need to punch something, go to the gym. The gym is your best friend. These UFC fighters are amazing. They're great, and it's entertaining. You want to punch something. Yes, that's your animal instinct as a man. I've never been a man before, so I don't know. So, like, if you feel the need that you need to punch something. I remember when he punched the wall and he put a hole in the wall, my best friend said he wanted that to be your face. You need to control your rage, write poetry, or play piano, or go to the gym. But there is no excuse for putting your hand on a woman. And this is going to divert to this trans movement thing, but I don't think that's what you want to discuss.
No, it's all, look, we have no limits here. Like, the fans of the show out there know, like, we've had Proud Boys on here. We've had trans people on here. Like, yeah, we just are asking questions. We're looking for an overall shared reality, like I said, so that we can all, at the very least, tolerate each other. At the very least. Yeah. So, no, speak your piece, right? How's it go, Royce?
Speak your thoughts or lose your mind.
Yeah, feel free.
I think this whole trans movement has gone out of control because no one cared. Like, we get it, the whole burning down of the building in, oh god, was it in Florida? I forget the gay nightclub that got burned down. That was bad. That was
Orlando,
wrong.
yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So now you can get married. Cool. Whatever. But now you want to get involved in women's sports, and now you want to use our restrooms with us. Do you not realize you're making it like a green light for perverts? It's just like with Black people. Like when they say like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, and now I want this, and they're just gonna keep asking for more and more and more, and like, people are taking advantage of it. And it's like, there has to be like a hard line. It's like, okay, you can't pass go here. Get married, whatever. I don't care. But you're not allowed to knock a girl's teeth out. I don't know if you saw that, but a soccer match, a boy, he kicked the ball so hard, he knocked the girl's teeth out. She doesn't have teeth anymore.
Dang.
Most recently, this boy in a high school team broke a girl's back, a teenage girl's back. Let's stop. We have to quit it.
Interesting. So I'm gonna bring in Miss Asia. She is back after battling some technical difficulties. But, first of all, Miss The Aunt of Dragons, thank you so much for sharing your personal story. Right?
Like I said, I'm sorry if I get you canceled.
No, I'm uncountable. I don't have enough followers to be canceled. Like, the people who ride with us, they ride with us hard. We always appreciate that. I'm gonna get another female voice in here, Miss Asia, and I'm not sure. Royce, hit her with a quick, hit her with a quick synopsis, and then we'll get your opinion, Miss Asia.
So basically, from the top, he was asking the question about this whole, quarrel between men and women, and with Miss Auntie, Miss TT, she was saying, to be honest, she said, I'm just not really feeling, the whole man and woman thing. It's like an endless battle. But she says she was more focused on our children. We need to focus on our children and how they're influenced by their surroundings in their homes and when they go out into other social areas and stuff like that. And then, she was sharing her experience. She just finished the experience about, just being abused by a former significant other at that time. And it's just, and I guess the question would be, starting from that top, like this whole quarrel between, men and women that you're seeing on social media, who does this, who does that, who says this, who says that, what's the right thing, what's the wrong thing, but then nobody seems to mention, the children in that aspect. What are your thoughts on just this whole men and woman type of quarrel that's kind of going on in this social media?
Well, good subject, and I feel you, Miss Auntie of the Dragons. I feel like it goes both ways. We are in a completely different world now. We are in the age of Aquarius now. Everybody's trying to go back to the past. We're not in the past no more. We were in age of Pisces, the traditional marriage is what they called it. But what people don't realize, or what they don't remember, is a lot of women back then, we didn't have a lot of fucking rights. Excuse my language. We didn't have a lot of rights. So when you go back and look at that, a lot of women put themselves in a position that they weren't really happy in. Not saying that there weren't any happy marriages then, but they had no choice but to be put in that position. So now we are here now in the age of Aquarius, where women are taken back over. They have rights. They can do just as much as a man can do, because it's more than just gender role. It's really a mindset. And that's another thing. A lot of people get confused. It's on your mindset, because I know men that do women's stuff, and I know, vice versa. So really, a lot of people they're not used to what's going on in the world today. It's not the same world anymore. Like I have to say, there's a lot of men not used to the power that women have. And honestly, back in the day where it first began, women had power. If you know about our history, women had power. The men honored the woman. But men aren't used to that now, because women are stepping up, and they're doing what they have to do for the children. That's where it started. We couldn't stay, like she said, I've been in abusive relationships too. We're not strong women that love themselves. We're not staying in there. Why? I don't have to be in a marriage to get what I want today. I can get what I want, how I want. And I can do that by myself. And my children are safe. And like she said, that's what matters most. That's why a lot of women stepped out and do what they had to do. It wasn't because we were trying to be, take over and be more powerful and be manly. That's not what it's about. It's not being a man. It's our mindset. We have a love for ourselves.
What was the time period?
Same thing with men.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What'd you say?
I was asking, what was the time period? You said back in the day, women still
like 1950s, 60s, when they had to go in, where there weren't women's rights. They couldn't vote. There was no jobs, really. I mean, yeah, they had a choice, but it's like the sunken mindset now. A lot of people have, still, like, we can do so much, but a lot of people still don't know that. Then that's how a lot of women they thought they had to stick by their men, and it was easy for a lot of women then. All they had to do was marry, and they had a home, that they just focused on their family and themselves. A lot of women, they couldn't go out there and find a job to support themselves, so they stayed in a marriage. And that's why most of our grandparents were in marriages for 40, 50 years. That's the real reason. They had no choice.
Ooh, listen,
or they felt like they had no choice. It wasn't because they was always happy. It's not about happiness. Marriage is not about happiness.
Interesting.
It's a contract. It's about business. It's gotta, when you're with somebody, what is it about? It's about loyalty and respect. It's about business, because it takes more than love to live in this type of world, right?
Well, I can't wait to get back around. Let's go.
Talk to me, Royce.
Well, first of me, we go back to so first I'm gonna say, yes, I really do care about the kids, like them children. Now, I don't have any children, you know what I mean? But I have been plenty of stepdaddy, you know what I mean? I've been in plenty of relationships where they've had kids, you know what I'm saying? And it's bittersweet, because when a relationship doesn't work, it's like you break that bond that you have with the children. But you saw the effect that you had when you were with them. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the whole man and woman quarrel, does it get a little like it does? And I do it a lot to really troll, and I like to pick people's brains and stuff like that. But I really wish that it would just, like, if there was going to be like this panel and this man, this woman, and what you do, everybody's saying great things about what can be done, what should be done on both sides. It's just the fact that, dang, well, when is somebody going to do it? Like, when is somebody going to be like, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then we can just be done with it. There's a lot of denial on both sides. I'm like, oh, I ain't doing that. Oh, we're going 50-50. Well, I ain't going 50-50. Well, you paying the bills. Well, I ain't going to pay all the bills. I'm like, oh, okay, man. Like, it wasn't like this. I know when I was growing up, I don't remember these type of conversations. It was just the way I was raised. It was like, okay, hey, brother, work hard, you know what I'm saying? Treat the ladies right, you know what I'm saying? Be a leader. You feel what I'm saying? And then we just got caught up in this whirlwind, you know what I mean? And to you ladies down below, I want to say, I definitely empathize, you know what I'm saying, what you guys have been through on a physical standpoint. You know, I too, you know what I'm saying, was a part of things like that. I contributed and I received, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'm guilty of that. So I can definitely understand that. So I definitely empathize with you guys. And I know where you're coming from with that. I'm gonna stop right there though.
Man, Royce had a TED talk that he posted. You know, you hear people throw out terms like bravery, right? I kind of reserve that term for a very select few. You know, the civil rights movement people, the slaves who were running around, right? Some encampment people who broke free when we went to war, World War II, right? A lot of Japanese Americans who just went through it. And again, when COVID, a lot of Chinese Americans went through it, right? Our military people and people who have been abused in any manner. And Royce, your TED Talks, extremely heartbreaking and captivating. And unfortunately, that story is not that rare. You know, he's talking about a younger boy molesting him, who he himself is a younger boy, younger than his abuser. So, one of the messages, I'm sorry I couldn't put the clip up, but one of the messages that you left us with was, parents, watch your kids. Here's the problem with that.
That's real.
I can't watch my kids 24/7, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And those kids are going to grow up to be adults and strike out on their own, right?
Well, I got to correct you. I didn't say watch kids. I said pay attention.
Pay attention.
Because I mean, there's times we can't watch them all the time, but just pay attention to signs, what's going on. Because when I look back, there were some signs, you know what I mean? And my mother and I, we had a good talk about it. You know what I'm saying? She was like, we've had our come to Jesus, with everybody. But like I said, it's not y'all's fault. It's just that guy knew when to come around. It's like he scheduled everything, like, oh, okay, So I mean,
specialized training, it seems like.
Yeah, he was really okay. They leave at this time, he was literally next door to me, So I didn't say watch. I said just pay attention. Pay a little attention to the signs, because when you get older, you see like, oh man, I know what he or she is thinking, because as a kid, you did that too. And when adults say that, they'll be like, well, we know, because it's a full circle. We know that look.
Exactly.
We know that huff and puff. We know even what you're about to say and the move you're gonna make. So just telling to the parents that may not do it as much, I said just pay a little more attention to those signs of what your child is going through, and have a talk with them just about anything.
Exactly.
My dad asked me all the time. To talk to them. Yes, my dad asked me all the time, what's on your mind? Even when that's on my mind, it used to get on my nerves. And now it's just a volunteer thing. Like, hey, Dad, I need to talk to you, man. So, yeah.
So that's interesting. The theme of those who fail to study history are doomed to repeat it, right? Miss Asia went back in time and said, it wasn't always like this. What happened, right? However, if you can go all the way back to ancient Egypt, and women owned businesses, they sued for divorce, they worked side by side with men to build great things, and then something happened to where we became more and more patriotic. Right?
Oh, we don't want to go there, because women ruled, Black women ruled back then, and men honored us. We don't want to go way back there on that truth.
But
that's a whole nother show.
Miss the Aunt of Dragons. You shake your head vigorously there. I got to hear your voice on this. No. Don't apologize. I just want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what's causing their heads to move side to side. Talk to me.
Because it's not true.
Which part?
It's not true.
It's that women were exalted. You're thinking of Cleopatra. You're thinking of Queen Elizabeth. That's extremely rare. Extremely rare. It's not true. We've made this up. They made that up during the women's rights movement in America, because all we wanted to do was vote. That's all we wanted. All we wanted to do was vote. No one signed up to work. No one wants to work. Men don't want to work. Like, what idiot wants to work? You know, like we made up all this stuff, and like it's all lies that's pushed to you from the media. That
Hang
is
on.
not true. We keep
What stuff?
living in
What's
a
not
fake
true?
past.
What
Hang on,
stuff is
wait a
made
minute.
up?
Fake past.
Wait.
And you know,
Everybody, hang on.
and you know what? Who
Let's see
ate
how
the
she's
apple?
bragging.
Who ate the apple? Adam or Eve?
Eve, but hang on just a moment, because
Adam
I'm
tried
going
to
fast
stop
in my brain.
We
Wait a minute,
definitely
wait.
gotta school our own people
Right,
too
right. Man,
on Black
you hit so
history.
many points and from so many different
Sorry,
angles. That I was
sorry.
unprepared for a boxing match.
That's good.
No. So the first point
No, I'm sorry.
about
I
who was
apologize.
being, no, we're just gonna go point by point. When
Don't
you
be
say-
sorry. Go read.
No, so point by point, who was exalted? I think what we're talking about as a whole, the ideal of the woman being sort of put on a pedestal, right? If you look at how men treat their cars today, we usually give them female names, we wash, we take care of them, we get it checked. There's a lot that we do. There's something that's been downloaded into us to say, I'm gonna take care of this car like I take care of my woman. Something about y'all screams for us, take care of, right?
Because it was true. They honored us.
But the problem is, somewhere along the lines, somebody said, we can start to, market this to the male demographic and say, hey, women, you should be lucky to be taken care of, and therefore you should. Fill in the blank however you want
You
to.
mean OnlyPans? How OnlyPans ruined everything?
OnlyFans? No, you got to go way before that.
Yeah.
You mean Pornhub?
Foreign.
You mean
hey, she got it, Royce. She got it.
Playboy?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You mean Pamela Anderson?
But who created those companies? Where's the market for that? There seems to be something that's pushing that. Like a lot of these companies. Okay, Occam's razor. The theory of Occam's razor. Are you guys familiar with this?
Put me on it.
The theory of Occam's razor is just the simplest thing. Is most likely the truest thing, right? You could talk about drugs in America, but there is, for some reason, there is a market for drugs in America. Same with child, pornography, right? We're trying to change the words to get around this algorithm. We don't want to get shut down too early. It's just getting good. I feel like everybody's getting comfortable and warmed up, and I'm loving it. Love it, right? The idea that there's a market for it is the real issue. If for some reason everybody in the United States of America decided never to snort coke again, there's some drug kingpins that are gonna starve to death. And most likely their men and women that work under them and fear them are gonna turn on them, right? It's the idea of there's a market for it. There's a market for a McDonald's. We know it's killing us. We know Coca-Cola and the corn cereal companies are killing us, and nobody cares. That's the real thing. So there's a human issue. So even way back then, all the way back to Adam and Eve, does God approach Eve and say, Eve, girl, you know you're wrong. I seen what you did. Or does he say, Adam, where are you? I left you in charge. I do that with my kids all the time. My 15-year-old saying, I told him not to. He did it anyway. What? I left you in charge. You mean to tell me you can't handle a 4-year-old? Get the crap out of here. So we can talk about responsibility. What drives me nuts, and I'm gonna ask Royce this, okay? And I want you ladies to kind of fill in the gaps for us and help us learn of something, right? One of the things that drives me nuts about us, Royce, is this idea of I'm the man, I'm the great. You should never. Every woman should just listen to me, right? We're in control. We're the man. We're strong. Yeah, but women control access to sex. Well, if she, that's the reason I'm going to give as to why I'm now all of a sudden this weak creature who can't help himself. I just got to have some JJ, right? I just got to have it. I'm weak. I need to have it. It's women's fault. That's why they don't keep their legs closed. What happened to all that big talk about being a man and strong and all that stuff? Which one is it? Are we weak and only can go by our baser needs? Or are we strong men who are meant to be leaders?
In certain areas, y'all strong and weak, and the same thing goes for women.
Yeah, I think there's a balance in that. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a balance. I think the thing is that I know, as speaking for the men, I think some of those things that I don't want to say supposed to be, but I mean some of those things that I'm just gonna say some of those things we're supposed to be strong in, we deny it. You know, we'll deny it, we'll run from it, you know, because I just keep it real, man. Like a lot of us dudes will say stuff like that. Oh, we want to do this, we're strong, but then half of us really can't do it, or won't do it, or don't have that, you know, that drive to do it. You know, just being real. Like I have been through all those levels where I'm the man, I'm gonna take care of this, I'm gonna take care of that, and then I don't show up. You know, I don't put in the work that need to be put in. You feel me? So, but I do agree that I feel that men, I feel men should. I do feel like men should lead. You know, on a lot of things, not everything, but I think men should lead on a lot of things, especially when it comes to the family. You know, time out.
Hang
Oh,
on.
my bad.
Hang on.
I don't
Real quick,
agree.
while I have the ladies, okay, that's what I figured.
I don't agree.
Okay, do y'all agree?
We make
on whether or not
humans.
men and women?
Come on, man. We make humans.
So you want to
That's
lead the
why
family?
y'all not
Wait. Hang
y'all
on.
are not made to rule this. That's why we living how we living now. Y'all looking at the wrong shit. Like he said, I'm so weak for the vajayjay. Like, come on.
Another fine, Asia.
We make human
fine.
beings. Women were made a lot stronger mentally and
Mhm.
physically.
Oh no.
Now,
not
like I
physically.
said before, it's not always a gender thing. And that's why it's important to go in as a partnership, because it's a business. It's not just about gender all the time on, oh, because you're the man, you need to do this, and you're the woman, you need to do this. Like I said, that's what they did in the past world. And
Mhm.
women were stuck then. A lot of women were stuck then. I'm not going to say all.
So
So
let me ask
what are
you-
we? What are men? What are we?
Wait, hang on. I gotta get
Y'all still stuck in gender roles. It's a mindset.
I
It's all about your mindset.
gotta go to Miss the Aunt of Dragons, okay?
Mhm.
Do you agree that men should lead the relationships or lead the way in general in our society?
For their ego.
I think
Men
that
don't have
this is a problem.
egos.
For their ego.
Sorry.
Just to keep things balanced.
Okay, let's hear it, Miss the Aunt of Dragons.
I think that this is a problem with entertainment now, because love is the priority. It's not a contract. It's not a business engagement. It's about love. I want to see. I wake up every morning so excited to see my boyfriend. I wake up every morning so excited to call my mom, and it's not a business contract. It's not. And that's sad. I think that a lot of people, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm trying to dig deeper into this, why everyone thinks that, how much money do you have? And how much money can I get from you? It's about love. It's always been about love. It's such a warm feeling in your heart, and you have children. Like, can you imagine, like, waking up every morning being like, oh, I cannot wait to wipe their diaper. Like, I don't have any kids. I'm sure it's stressful, but like you still look forward to it. I had I hate comparing kids to dogs. Forgive me for saying that. But I remember having a dog, and I looked forward to walking him every morning. Yes, it was tedious, and yes, he was a bad dog. But and like I said, I don't want to compare children to dogs, but like I looked forward to them. It's not a business contract. It's
what world
love.
are we living in today, though? Like what? Like yeah, we want it to be about love. That's what we want, and that's what it should be.
Now, sex is a necessity. It's not. Do you know how many less children we have right now? Less children. Do you know how many more children are being born in the Black community from frivolous sex? Men need sex. Why not just pick one girl? You don't need 20 girls. You don't. Why not just pick one? We can have sex every night. Sure. Sorry, can I say sex?
Yes.
Okay. We can have sex every night. Sure. Why don't we just pick one? We don't need 20, 50 girls. I saw, oh my God, I saw something today. This girl is doing a 365-day challenge. She's sleeping with 365 guys all year. You don't need that. Men need sex, sure, and they're gonna do it. You know? Like there are some days he's sleeping right now. He can't hear me. There's some days I don't feel like doing it, but I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, like men are more hormonal than we are. But when we ovulate, we want sex as well. You know, there are some days he doesn't feel like doing it, but I'm like, you better get up. You know, like that's how life works, and everything is fine now. And I'm really frustrated with the whole mindset of, oh, things were better back in the day. Yes, they were, because you know why? Because you had a 2-parent home. My parents were married for 50 years. That's not a bad thing.
They weren't happy.
I'm sorry that your parents weren't happy, but you have a choice now to be happy. You can pick your partner now, today. If you don't like him today, bye.
That's right. Yep.
Adios. But
a lot of people's parents weren't happy.
I'm looking forward
they did
to
what they had to do for business, because it wasn't just about love. It's what they had to take care of.
No, it's not
what
about
they didn't
business.
have.
It's about
It's not.
love.
It's a balance. I'm not saying it's all about business. It's a balance, honey, because it's the world we live in today. We can't control that. It should be about love. I wish it was, but it's not. We gotta pay for things to live, and it shouldn't be like that. Yes, it should be love, but we're not living in fairy. We're not living in the fairy tale world right now. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. So it's a balance.
But if he's working at McDonald's, like is he handling business?
And then people aren't even loving each other for real love. It's not. It's not.
But if he's working at McDonald's, is he handling business?
I don't know. Is he? I don't know. Yeah. It depends on the household.
He's working 40 hours a week and he loves you. Is that okay?
Girl, it's a lot more to it than that, girl. It's a lot more to it than that.
Nice pause right there. Nice pause right there.
That's a good transitional point.
It's a lot more to it than that. It's a lot more to it than that. Because I know people that go to work. I know people that act like they're loving you, but are emotional unstable. And we have seen that shit happen a lot these days.
Another time.
Yeah. That's a pause right there. Frap, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So remember, the show rules is everybody's a little bit right, everybody's a little bit wrong. Each of us has something of value to share. We all are coming into this with our own experiences, and our wisdom is that of our experiences and the experiences of others we trust. Whether it comes from a book, whether it comes from the internet, whether it comes from your mom and them. Okay. So the point of all of this is for all of us to try to get to some sort of even, footing and some sort of shared reality. The biggest problem in today's time is one person says need, the other person says want. And what I want to try to do is sift through some of your statements and figure out exactly what those terms mean to you. And then and only then we can progress through this conversation. Okay, because Miss the Aunt of Dragon says men need sex. What about the Tibetan monks who live to be 110?
Yeah, it's not all about sex.
Celibate, right? And you say, Miss Asia, you're saying that marriage is
not all about sex. No, I'm not saying it's all business. I'm all about balance. It's all about balance.
Okay, balance. Okay, forgive me. So you're saying that there's a balance between the business aspect and the quote unquote Disney lovey-dovey stuff, the butterflies and what Miss the Aunt of Dragons was talking about, which I feel that with my kids, right? I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, and I'm blessed to have a wonderful wife, right? You talked about, can you work at McDonald's for 40 hours and still put in work? Like, I'm a DoorDasher. Like, listen, I claim to be a podcaster, but any kind of money I bring to the table primarily comes from my DoorDashes because my wife makes most of the money. And she and I have an agreement. Now we get into the history of things. The history of things way back in ancient Egypt is women literally were allowed to have businesses and do all these things. And then, some group of folks decide to visit from the Caucasus Mountains and say, actually, the man is the most important thing, and that's how we should run this society. You don't agree? Hand me my musket. Sorry, what did you say?
Musket, please.
That's right. And so here's what I'm saying. We go in and out of these waves of time periods and eras where women are treated with a little more respect than sometimes than in others. But what perplexes me is this idea that women are saying to us for years, I don't like that you hit me. I don't like that you fool around. I don't like that you out drinking with the boys and come home and like, oh, now suddenly you're so tired from work. Like, you can't help me with these babies, right?
I don't like that. I don't want you hanging out.
Balance.
I don't want you having friends.
But the idea of that's what that's where feminism was birthed. The first major movement was in late or no, it was early 19th century, right? And then we've had 4 different ways of feminism. So even feminism has changed over the time. Back then, it was about we want these things, these abuses to stop. It was born from abuse of men in power. We want this to stop. And they said, well, vote on it. Okay. Now we want the right to vote. That's why it was so important to them, because they understood if they're trying to stop us from voting so hard, it must have some validity. It must have some power. It must have some sway. So that's the history of men and women. But I will argue those people in the villages where the women are, the more gatherers and the men are more hunters, they seem to be happier. Like there's all sorts of modern day people who come in and go, actually, you should put some clothes on. This is ridiculous. And why are you respecting this woman? She is your property. You don't have to respect her. Be happy like us. And it's like, now we got to another term. What does it mean to be happy? Each of us gets to make that up. And when you start to come together as husband and wife or in a significant relationship, now you become one conglomerate or a business, and you are supposed to decide that together. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. Listen, for me and my wife, it's very simple. We both came up in the church. We kind of went away from the church because people were saying stuff like, don't question God and just give me money and shut up. And got away from it. Then we started reading the word for ourselves. And start building an actual relationship with Christ. And then we was like, okay. So when he says women respect your husband, right? And men love your wives as Christ loved the church. Now we got to go figure out what that means. And what did it mean according to the Bible? He was around there washing his dadgum disciples' feet, making sure they got fed when they were hungry, making sure they had water, support. Hey, don't worry about that storm. I'm here. I got you. Yeah. And even dying for the church. So how are men supposed to be women, loving women? To death. We're willing to go as far as death. But if she don't want to pay half, nah, man, frap her. I'll find another. I'm confused. Someone.
Men want to be courted now and everything.
Somebody, please help me out.
Take me
and
out.
Ash, I'm gonna get to your comments. They're good down there. Let me get this one real quick. Right? But men don't do that. They don't love us like God loves the church. Right?
Okay.
And that's when women respect their husband, the husband, if you're so inclined. The Bible says that Christ is the bridegroom. That means he's the perfect wife for every man and the perfect husband for every wife. And if a man approaches you anything outside of what Christ did for the church, that's the time to curve him. That's the red flags that we like to talk about. Like, why are you disrespecting me like this? I don't like this at all. But now if I give you my permission, it's a whole nother thing. Some women do like to get slapped on the backside, but that's something for us to decide together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, all right, Miss Beyonce Dragons. I know you're Game of Thrones fans. Like, Game of Thrones fans are wild out here in these streets. All right. Shout out to my wife over in the next room. Like,
if I can add to that, Frap, man, and I'm going through a transition myself because I was on both sides of the spectrum. I was red pill, blue pill, purple pill, you know what I'm saying? Purple rain. I was all, and I'd say, let me just throw this all away. Let me start from scratch. Let me humble myself on the rights and wrongs that I've done. And okay, how can I make myself as an individual better instead of trying to prove it? Like, I feel like if we work on our own individual selves, I think that really will spew out to whom you're with, or whatever counterpart that you're with. I know there's things that we've been raised with on who's supposed to do this or who's supposed to do that. I mean, it's cool. It's like an endless argument. It's like, okay, just like what Frap was saying. All right, well, what is it that you do 100% that I do 100%? You know what I'm saying? I can do this. Cool. It is some ego in the play, especially with men. We do have a lot of egos. Like, oh, I just don't feel like a woman can really handle this or whatever. It's like, okay, I'm the type of person where it's like, all right, I'm gonna give you a chance. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Like, I'm not even gonna argue with you no more. Just like, okay, you say you can do it. Just go ahead and do it. And then sometimes women can have egos too. you know, where it's like when they know they can't do it, it's like, well, but I squash that. It's like, I'm gonna make you prove that you can do what you can do, and then I'm gonna do what I can do, and then what you can't do, I'll be glad as a man to help pick that side up, and then you should be glad as a woman to help me on this side that I'm not really that good at. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a partnership. That's what I mean by
That's definitely a
that's like
partnership.
business. That's a partnership. Both of you
That's
work
definitely
together.
a partnership. But let me say this though, I can't leave love out of the factor.
I
can't
never did leave love out of the
Yeah.
factor. I've always said balance.
Right. But I'm saying, like, I mean, because the way you were saying it was like it ain't got nothing to do with love. But I mean,
No,
love is
never
in love
said
is
that.
in love is in the
Never
factor.
said that.
You didn't say it had nothing to do with love.
I never said. I always said balance. When I went back, I said that's what we want. But the world we live in today, you have to put in a little business because we have to make money to live.
I agree.
It can't just be and respect. And then you could be in a partnership. They could work. But what about the respect?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of men egos are hurt because women can do a lot. Just like you said, you would give a chance. A lot of men are not like that these days. And I'm not just speaking on my experience, and I'm not just speaking on what I see on social media. I speak to a lot of people. I listen. I wish more men were like you, because it would be a lot more healthier relationships.
Disclaimer.
And it wouldn't be as many single parent homes.
We're men in training, but real quick, Miss the Aunt of Dragons.
I had a question for Miss Asha, if that's
Asia.
okay.
Asia,
sorry. So if they took away women's rights, do you think you'd be happier?
if they took away women's rights, would I be happier?
Yeah.
When the fact that y'all get rights, man, we slipping. When did they get the rights?
You can't vote. You can't work. You can't drive. Do you think you'd be happier?
I think this is irrelevant, but of course not. If I didn't have rights, what are we getting at though?
That's a no for her.
What are we getting at?
Would you like me to elaborate?
Yes, please.
Because in the world today, we got rights.
Yeah, hang on.
As I was saying earlier, the point was just to vote. So now we're having to play the role of men.
No, we're playing the role of us loving ourselves. We're not playing the role of men.
Miss Asia, one at a time. Wait on time. Let her finish
playing the role of men.
Let her finish your point. Listen, this is why I have my handy dandy, dry erase board. I'm over here writing notes just so I don't, because I have a really bad habit of interrupting people. But yeah, let's let her finish her point and then we'll let you go.
Now we're having to play the role of men. So now I have to cook, clean, take out the garbage, breastfeed the baby. Oh crap, can I say breast? Work for 40 hours a week, and then I can sleep for 2 hours.
Oh, that's different from the question you answered. Yes, I'm most definitely happy. I do that. I got 3 girls. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If I have a man that can put in and without the unstable emotions, and he's also putting in, I don't have a problem helping out. Because I pay my own stuff by myself.
But if let's say if Brad Pitt knocked on your door,
that's like completely different. That's like you went somewhere else with that one.
Knocked on your door tomorrow and he's like, you never have to work another day in your life. I want to marry you. What are you gonna do?
I'm comfortable, honey. You didn't even ask me what I do. I work from home. I'm comfortable. I put myself in a position where I'm good. I've never let people stress me out.
You don't even need to buy the ring, Brad Pitt. That's fine.
So that's for me, again, here at Urban Academia, we like to break down what terms mean to people.
Yeah, I wouldn't be happy with my man doing everything.
Yeah, so for you, Asia, what's your idea of happy? And then we'll go to Royce, and then back to Miss the Aunt of Dragons.
I don't think nobody understands happiness. Nobody's gonna be happy with.
You get to define this. You are the author.
I got you. All right, cool. Yeah. So to me, happiness is balance, like I've been talking about. We all go through these ups and downs in life, and it makes us better people. That's how we become a better person, is going through things and becoming better. So somebody coming in my life and paying all my bills, no, I'm not going to be happy with that. Most women might be, but not me. I don't mind helping my man out, because like I said, I want a partnership. And honestly, in most relationships, that's going to be the healthiest fucking relationships. Is both people having their own lives, doing something and putting in, because her ego ain't gonna be hurt, his ego ain't gonna be hurt. We're all feel like we're doing something for our family.
Royce?
No. Go with the ladies. Yeah. I'll go last.
No.
We don't get this often.
This is true. We're so happy up here. We're just like, intelligent black ladies.
With the whole and then like, I can't stand the whole mindset of roles. We are in age of Aquarius. We're in a different world. There's no roles now. Like he said, Jay Zilla, my man Jay Zilla up there, him and his wife is good with how they got things going on. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't work out for everybody like that.
And it wasn't easy.
But the way he's saying it right now, that like they both have love for themselves. Like you can tell they got a pretty healthy relationship. I don't know you like that, but that's just what it sounds like to me.
I appreciate it. We definitely try.
After a while, like we were talking about back in the day when women didn't have rights, they were stuck in the house. They didn't want that shit like that all the time. They don't want to be stuck in the house, take care of babies all the time. Now, don't get me wrong. Some women might like that because they never had the chance to go out and see what else is in the world.
So exposure is part of those variables. All right. So, Miss the Aunt of Dragons, what's your idea of happiness for you and your significant other?
I have a question. What rights don't you have right now?
Me?
What can't you do right now?
Who are you talking to?
Asia? Or is it for the panel?
Everyone.
Yeah.
What rights don't you have right now?
Man, I got all the rights.
What can't you do right now in 2024?
I can do what I want.
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. Isn't this the greatest time to be alive?
Statistically, yes.
So why do we keep continuing to look at the past? Like, you're not there.
Nope.
You're right here, right now.
Yep.
And do you know who started the whole boss girl? I can't read my own handwriting. The boss girl movement. Madonna.
Is that what you call it? Because I call it self-love.
The boss girl movement. Madonna started it, and look how she's turning out now.
I don't agree with you.
She's so heavily depressed.
I don't. So you're saying because a woman takes care of herself and that she's depressed?
You don't need to finish your sentence. Yes.
No, I'm going off what you just said.
Go ahead.
Because let me tell you something. Since I've been a kid, I've taken care of myself and I've been very happy, honey. That's called self-love. And that's called self-love. That's not called.
Go through that.
That's not called. You said what?
I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm
so sorry. Don't be sorry, honey. Be happy for me, because it made me a strong individual. That's what was made. The universe gave me that pathway for me.
Amen.
And I'm able and I've had some great relationships, but I've been happy. I take care of myself because that's what I want to do.
So independence for you is one of the markers of happiness.
Yeah, because I get to do it. I'm a free spirit person, you know? Yeah. Like I said, I've been in great relationships, but like I get to do what I want to do. I'm free spirited. I like no stress. Do we go all go through ups and downs? Yes, but no stress, honey. And it's not the whole Madonna started it. Like, okay, that's what you think. And you call it boss chick era, but it's self-love, and men have it too.
We love each
self-love, honey.
Can I
it's called self-love.
Hang on. Both of y'all take a moment. Royce, look, okay. First of all, let me address my dear friend Ashton, Mrs. Gifford there. Like, I need some concise comments. You put a daggone like novella in the comments, lady.
It's
All
Urban
right, you said
Academia,
some
man.
great things.
I
There you
saw
go.
that.
There you go. Self-love is everything. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, real quick, I want Royce's opinion, and then I'm gonna poke at some of these terms and see if we can come
Yeah.
to some sort of agreement.
So I typed a few things here in the little notes. All right. Okay. So first, I really feel like, you know, and I'm only saying this just for relevance, you know, the way I think this boss thing has gone too far, right? And then two, I think my second question is, well, can a woman be too dang strong? Like, can you be so independent that you feel like you don't need anybody? You know what I'm
No.
saying? It's like I think there's been a lot of, and this is just I've seen this on social media, and even though it's very small amount, a very small percentage of women, you know, saying I'm strong, I don't need this, I don't need that. It influences a mass of people that are watching it, right? And it can just be 100 people and on social media saying something, and then 100,000 will take it and run with it. But I feel like when I go through these feeds and stuff like that, it's just I'm not tripping about a strong woman, period. But I think some of them are taking it too far to where it's making it seem like you're just untouchable. Like you can't holler at me. You gotta. I know. I'm trying to get a resolution on this.
Yeah,
because it seems like it because it's the approach, it's the POV. You got to say something a certain way. You got to take me out to eat to this place. You're gonna pay all my bills.
Oh yeah, I feel you on that.
Like, there's a lot of that
I
going
feel you.
on.
I've seen some of those. I feel you. Yeah.
And so they tag it in a title as strong woman,
okay, I got you.
and all that, right? So it's like, okay, where do we
I hope
come
that's
to
not
this?
what you're getting from me because it was brought up.
No.
Yeah.
I'm because I was seeing it. Look, he knows me, him and I. We've been talking about this. So it's like what I hope to see, what I want to see. Because believe me, I was a part of that, jumping into that circle and like, yeah, okay. You know, what I hope to see is like, okay. Can we just accept our responsibilities as a man and a woman, regardless of who does what or whatever?
Y'all going back in the roles again.
No,
it's not about roles
no. This is what I'm saying. You gotta let me finish. See, I can bring that point up too. All right, you just said it right there. I didn't say accepting roles. I said accepting your responsibilities. I think there's a difference.
You said as men and women accept responsibilities. Okay, so break that down on what a man, what you think a man responsibility is, and a woman responsibility.
That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to do. Look. The problem is there's a difference between roles and responsibilities. There's a slight difference because a role is something that is given to you, right? Or maybe you give to yourself. A responsibility is something that you might have to do this or something's going to be messed up. It can do anything with your life, hygiene, health, anything like a responsibility. So whatever your responsibilities are as a man or as a woman, right? I think that just works perfectly. I think when we start putting, okay, well, you should cook, you should clean. Like, okay, let me ask you a question. And since you said that aside, but let me ask you a question, Asia. Would you mind cutting your own yard if you have a man?
I have. Oh, if I had a man, I like to cut my own yard. Yes, which I don't understand.
Individually, you like to do that.
Wait.
That's cool.
Listen,
that's cool.
Listen, Royce.
Wait, Asia. I think I got this, Asia. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Is there something that you do now that you wouldn't mind allowing a man to do for you?
This is the thing, guys. You asked me what I like to do it. I do that stuff happily. Okay.
Yeah.
If a man is in my life and he has everything is balanced in our relationship, I'm going to let my man do what he feels like makes him a man. But I don't go for this gender role stuff because, listen, I grew up an athlete. Okay. I was a tomboy, no matter what you see right here. Okay. I grew up an athlete. I was in the military for 10 years. I was in the film industry behind the scenes, not just in front of the camera, but behind the camera. I've worked with a lot of men. Y'all never asked me. Hold on for a minute. Y'all never asked me what type of person I am, along with these questions. I'm a woman that likes to be physical. Being physical, basketball, sports, that was my life. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me happy. That was my happy place, being physical. So when it comes to things, and you guys are sitting here saying, bro, men are supposed to do this, and she's saying, oh, you know what I'm saying? You're making it a man thing. And I'm already rolling my eyes because I'm like, I'm not looking at that as a man thing. I'm looking at it as like, I like doing, I even get my hands dirty. I work with wood and stuff. So, but I'm still a woman. Like that's what y'all don't get these days. It's not only men doing stuff like that. Women are doing these things. We're able to.
But are they doing it? Are they doing this by themselves? Or are they doing it and having a counterpart? I'm just saying. I'm not saying
Well,
because I haven't seen.
like I said,
That's
if there was
cool.
a man in my life, I would most definitely let him. We need to do it together because that's my love language, and that's another thing we need to speak on.
Oh, you like mowing the grass? That's a love language for you.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is getting physical,
Okay.
like doing
Yeah, I heard that.
creating things together. Yes, that's a love language for me. And but when it comes to the whole man female role thing, I roll my eyes at that. You know, like I told you, I'm a free spirit. I don't believe in the women go in just do dishes. No, my man is going to do that too because there's no telling what I'm out doing because we're both putting in. I believe in partnerships and real shit. It makes you happy because now he's understanding, you know, behind the scenes what's going on here, and I'm going out and switching. We both understand, you know, that part of life. Instead of it just being a woman, because we don't live in that world no more. It's not just women staying in the house doing it no more.
I love that. I love that. Just hang on for one moment. Go ahead, Miss Dion of Dragons.
Well, firstly, I was saying thank you for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I wanted to be I wanted to join the Air Force, but I can't because I have epilepsy. So you don't want someone flying a plane who's gonna have a seizure randomly.
Look up some rosewater tea. Look up rosemary tea. Okay.
Rosemary. Yeah.
But
So, okay. Yeah, go ahead, Miss Dion of Dragons.
Oh God. It's gonna sound so bad. This whole self-love movement is getting narcissistic. It's getting beyond narcissistic.
Hang on, Miss Asia.
Sorry. You can go ahead if you want to.
No. I'm saying hang on, Miss Asia, one at a time. Go ahead.
I was just commenting what she said. Go ahead.
Can I talk?
Yes,
you got
please.
it.
Okay. Yeah, this whole self-love movement is getting beyond narcissistic. It's all about everyone needs to see me. And it's like, do you know your neighbor's name? What's your neighbor's name? Everyone. What's your neighbor's name?
Manny and
all
Mark.
my neighbors.
Shout out to Manny and Mark.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
I ain't got
don't
neighbors.
say their
name.
last
I know all my neighbors' name, but what point are you getting at?
Don't say their last name. Like, stop making everything about you. The whole, like, the stars are in Scorpio, whatever. There's a full moon, so something's gonna happen. Quit it. It's time. And I posted this the other day, and Royce, I think he saw it. And it's time to grow up. It's time to get out of Neverland. It's way past time to do that. Fire. If there's a fire, who are you looking for? A man, right?
No.
You're looking for a man, right? Yes.
Yes.
There's a fire. I'm going to look
No,
I'm
what are you
looking
talking
for.
about? That's
I'm
a lie.
I'm looking for a way out.
Roy,
What you talking about?
am I crazy? Have I gone mad? I'm looking for a man. If there's a fire in my house, I'm looking for a man. I'm not looking for a woman. I don't want. Get out of here. Go find a man. Royce, am I crazy?
Yeah, I'm sorry for you.
So
wait.
I'm not looking.
I'm just gathering both of y'all stuff.
Yeah, I want to hear from Roy.
I didn't even get to say nothing yet. That's her.
Okay.
I'm looking for an exit. Exactly, Ashton.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah,
I see where she's trying to go because I don't want TT to be lost in because I get what she's saying. I think it's just the context of it, right?
I don't.
Okay, look.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just feel like she's the type of woman that depends a lot on a man, and I'm not. We're like complete opposites.
And here's what I'm
that's okay.
I'm a professional jiu-jitsu trainer. So
technical difficulties. We got to go one at a time.
It's not purposely done, y'all.
Otherwise, no, it was on purpose. I was just joking.
It was, yeah, but not for
I mean, no disrespect.
Sorry.
Here's what I'm saying. We have to go one at a time for our audience because y'all are speaking from a real place. And I need for people to understand this because we're all in this together, whether we agree or not, right? We're all in this together. If we got half the country thinking one thing and half the country thinking the other, and we start fighting each other, we all lose.
I'm not trying to fight anyone. I apologize.
No.
I'm not
you.
fighting. I'm just
telling the truth.
Here's what I'm saying.
I think it's crazy.
For some women, and this is what the genius of God is to me. Miss the Aunt of Dragons, that fire hits. We're all in the theaters together with our significant other. That fire hits. Miss the Aunt of Dragons is looking for a big strapping man. And there's a big strapping man who loves a woman who would think to look for a man first. That's beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, Miss Asia, who fought for our country, I'm going to echo her sentiment and say thank you for your service, because Lord knows I don't know if I can do it. I ain't going to lie to you, okay? I'm glad you did it for me, okay? The idea that you are saying, I'll put that daggone fire out myself, right? There's a man out there who believes that is the sexiest thing on the planet. Anytime my wife, when we're listening to sports radio, God bless her soul, when we're listening to sports radio and she has a sports take, I look over and I start to get, my temperature kind of goes up. Starts racing. I'm like, girl, you need to pull this car over now. What you say about cars? Different shows for different folks. And what I'm saying is there seems to be somebody for everybody. You earlier, Royce, you talked about the person, the guy who's a little sassy, got a little saucy, right? There's a woman out there who is probably along the lines of more masculine, who's a tomboy who don't look as beautiful as Ashley, right? She likes the buzz cut, to each their own, who likes a guy with a little sauce. Like I said, but here's the problem with that. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. Way back when, there was a surplus of blankets. It used to be pink blankets, blue blankets, and white blankets given out to newborns. And everybody kept choosing the white blankets because white is pure. It's, matches all that stuff, right? Black people look good in white. White people think white is pure. It's okay. But what happened is they had a surplus of blue and pink blankets. So the company that supplied the blankets saying, what the crap are we going to do with all these blankets? It's like, tell the hospital that blue is for boys and pink is for girls. You understand? That's how we got that. That's how we got color blue for men, color pink for girls only. You understand? Some company made that up and it became so popular that we adopted that into our culture. So much so that we begin to tell little boys who like pastels, don't like that boy, like blue or black, a man color. And so they start thinking, and they get to school and, I really like this pink shirt. And, no, you gay. And then the hormones kick in. And like, I've been told my whole life I'm gay. Now I'm horny. Okay, what do gay guys do to take care of this horniness? Oh, okay, I guess I am gay. And I'm going to go and check out a couple of these penises.
Yeah, sad.
Frap another man.
But this started, but remember, this started because of a basic need and a company trying to maximize profit. Same thing with the diamond companies. Somebody made up in a meeting, you know how we can get rid of these worthless gems? We can tell women that, diamonds are forever and a man ain't nothing if he don't get the diamond, right? Diamonds are a girl's best friend. And then they flooded the market with these commercials.
Say it louder. I think my boyfriend woke up. Say it louder.
You're not gonna like the ending, though.
I'm looking for a ring. Say it louder.
You are not gonna like the ending. It's all made up. A company was about to go bankrupt. They had a Hail Mary effort, and then they made up a bunch of stuff about diamonds. And now in our culture, what do you do when you want to get engaged to your woman? You have to get a diamond. The basic cut, clear cut, black diamond, princess cut. It's all made up. So if those companies understand this, which most of them spend a third of their profits on research and development and marketing. Think about that. If I get $1 billion, I'm going to spend about $333 million trying to figure out how Asia thinks and how Miss the Aunt of Dragons thinks, Jay Zilla and Royce thinks, so I can get this money. That's where we're coming from. So when you say, I look for a man, that's okay. That's you. And Miss Asia says, no, I look for an exit. That's probably the smartest thing, by the way. Okay. But that's okay. That's okay too. So now we're getting to all these different terms that y'all floated around. Happy equals what is different, right? Gender roles, bad. Why? All gender roles mean is, hey, in our household, I'm going to do this and you do that. as long as you two as a
It's a-
couple are agreeing
if
on it.
if a lion approaches your door,
Uh-huh.
who's going to go to the door?
Hopefully none of us we call a daggone
Oh
animal
no!
before. I get what you're saying, but
I
I
think
want you to
I
understand
think
something.
that's a video to you, Royce.
Right, but
Oh.
hold on. This is where I think you're coming from. You're trying to make what is good for the goose, right? Good for the gander. And I'm saying that what we should be doing as men and women, and what we should be teaching our children to do, is to negotiate and do the work and get to know each other before you start to reverse engineer a relationship. Right? Is it best for us to have sex and then try to figure out all the other stuff afterwards? Or is it better to try to figure out the important things and differences between you two before you move forward together?
Exactly.
I want Miss the Aunt of Dragons' opinion on that, because that hair is fantastic moving forward. And Miss Ashton's in the comments with, I don't know if that's good or bad. See, now you're being too concise, Ash. I need you to somewhere in the middle. Not a novella, not just a sound effect. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Miss the Aunt of Dragons.
I think Spider-Man is I'm gonna get burned for this because you're gonna say that Titanic is the perfect love story. I think Spider-Man is the perfect love story because everything that Spider-Man did was for Mary Jane. Everything that he did was for her. So when you said that women were exalted, women were worshipped, yes, because the man did everything to get to her.
No, that's not what I was saying, but go ahead.
Okay, sorry. What were you saying then, love?
I said the men honored thy woman. A lot of women back then were doing a lot of the things men were doing. It was reversed, but the men
were doing the lifting and building the pyramids.
Yeah, they was in on it. Yep.
Hang on.
Yeah, that's part of it. If that's part of the story that you go into.
Did not build the pyramids.
Hang on.
When black women were first here, the first ones here, the men honored them, and they worked together, honey. They worked together, but
they built the pyramids.
I'm not just talking about that's what you know. I'm not talking about building pyramids. I said if that's the story you know, then go with it.
Listen, scientifically, they have been trying, archaeologists and some very, very serious people about this. Some of them have got 30 years in the game trying to figure this out, and there is no consensus on how the pyramids were even built. She
brought the pyramids up. I'm not even.
That's what I'm addressing. Hang on.
Before that time. It's before that time. So she brought that up, but she done lost me with that shit.
But okay, so what? Another fine, Asia. But
go on with what you were saying.
The pyramids were built in one place. The stones were cut from one place and somehow transported without leaving it. Right? It's unknown to us. It's not unknown. I wasn't there.
I did not say.
I'm just saying it's unknown. No, Asia. She's talking to me.
I bet you Kobe Bryant did it over.
Aliens.
I did not say
over Beyonce.
Aliens.
Aliens is the leading actually.
Aliens. Because they're non-gender. There's not a man or a woman alien.
You know what wasn't.
Wait, hang on.
Women and men work together more, but the men did honor the women. When I mean,
okay.
What I'm saying is, when I say the men honored thy woman, they respected her. Okay, they respected her, and they worked right beside her. But she was the leader then. And I know that's hard for you to believe because you seem more codependent. You know, you need a man. You're going to look for a man before going out in the fire. You're going to burn up, honey. But anyways, all I'm saying is back then, women were the rulers and the men honored thy woman. The first ones.
So why are you disagreeing with that, Miss?
They said I got documents on what Asia is saying. I know what I'm talking about. I studied the history, honey.
Okay. Hang on. I'm saying, why are you disagreeing, Miss the Aunt of Dragons?
Because she's codependent. She wants a man to be the ruler.
Asia, be fair. Asia, be fair.
I'm just going off what she gave. No, I am being fair. But I'm being fair.
Listen, Royce and
I'm being fair.
Right. Royce and I have been at this a while, and one of the things we find useful is approaching things with questions. So
that's fine.
Saying that you're being codependent. Would you agree that that's codependent or not? And then give her a chance to answer for herself.
Everything that she said on here leads to
But
that.
what you don't want to do is tell a woman what she is.
She's telling me what I am, and I keep trying to have to re-explain who I am. But go ahead.
All right,
Just
look
go ahead.
into your corners.
I just want us to go back on the subject we were talking about. She got hyped about the pyramids. I ain't saying nothing about all women built pyramids.
I love some pyramid talk. Like, that's another show. We'll do another show.
Let's just go back. Let's go back to what we were talking about.
It's the Aunt of Dragons, the relationship between men and women. It seems to me that you, and stop me if I'm wrong, it seems to me that you believe that men should be leader, men have certain things that they are supposed to do, and women have certain things that are supposed to do. But what are your thoughts on any crisscrossing of those roles or responsibilities, especially in the case of my man just got his leg, taken off by, No, I'm not saying. I'm saying, for example, if a man is no longer able to cut the grass and stuff because some unfortunate accident, or he was born a paraplegic. Like, what do you do in those cases? Do they just not deserve love?
No, definitely. They definitely do. After my abusive relationship, I started training in jujitsu. I can never say that word correctly.
That was good, jujitsu.
Yeah. I'm unnecessary. My boyfriend is a professional UFC fighter, and I try to fight him, and I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. But yeah. So I feel confident in my strength, but I also know that, like you said, it is a balance. So if someone knocks on the door and if he's sleeping, I'm going to try to grapple him and I'm going to scream for him to help me. So I think that the problem is women have become so independent that they're not aware that men can overpower us, and we need to quit this. We need to quit, because I can grapple him for 3 minutes, and if I'm screaming, I need you to come help me. I need you to come help me, because I know he's gonna break free in 3 minutes, and we need to quit this because this is getting dangerous now. So we need to stop this whole girl boss thing.
I mean, you've been in an abusive relationship before. That was your man, and it's a sensitive subject. I've been through it too, and I'm sorry you've been through it. We both.
No, I'm talking about right now in real life, where men are beating on women and men are just walking by.
Yeah, I'm not
talking about me. I'm talking about everyday women in America.
Got you. What I'm saying is, it happens in relationships as well. So what I'm saying is, you can't always.
If you scream fire, I don't want another girl to help me. I need a man to come and help me.
Got you. So I'm telling you,
I can hold him. I can strap him for 3 minutes. But after 3 minutes, I need a man to come and help me.
And you're speaking and that's you.
The boss girl movement is.
Okay, and that's you. But I'm telling you now.
No, that's not me. That's every woman. What are you?
No, it's not every woman, because it's definitely not me. What? Don't speak for me. Don't speak for all women. That's you. That's how you feel. What I'm telling you.
Hold on.
Are you talking about homeboy in the WNBA?
What I'm telling you is, we were in abusive relationships.
No,
right?
I'm talking about hypothetical.
Got you. What I'm telling you,
hypothetically, if someone was attacking you in real life, do you want a woman or a man to help you?
You're still speaking on that. You've said this a few times already. I'm telling you. And what I'm trying to tell you is, even in a relationship, a man.
No, I'm not talking about a relationship.
I'm not either.
Hang on. Everybody take a break. Take a moment. Take a sip.
Break.
We have to have it one on time. I love the passion, and the knowledge is interesting.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I'm hearing.
So I'm gonna let Asia back on first. I want you to finish your point.
All right. What I'm trying to say is, we both went through through a time in our life where we were both abused by men. She's saying that she would want a man to come help her. But what I'm saying is you can't just wait on a man all the time. You're going to have to learn how to self-defend yourself. In the world we live in today, you're going to have to learn how to self-defend yourself. She's waiting on a man. I don't know how long that's going to work for her. But
Okay.
I'm not waiting on, a man to come self-defend me, because it was in our own relationships before. You feel what I'm saying? So at some point you're going to have to learn, because it's not going to be another man all the time. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to defend yourself, or try your best to prevent those situations. What another, thing we talk about often, Royce, is discernment.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've learned that.
True.
Okay. Before I bring
That's
you on,
all I
Miss
was
Dia-
saying. That's all I was trying to get across.
I got you.
My feelings is not in this. I'm just trying to make a point, because we both, that was something we both shared. And I thought that I'd be able to get her to understand that, because we both shared that.
No. So you got your point. So
Okay.
we're gonna let her go. But real quick, a couple of things I want to point out to both of y'all.
Oh my
Miss Deonta
God,
Dragon.
am I going crazy?
Hang on, Deonta Dragons.
No, you're not.
Right, because I think what we're missing here is we're a lot closer than we think. There are some animals where you have the male of that species that is way bigger than the female, and vice versa.
Mhm.
Humans, however, even though it seems like there are some 7 feet women, so like humans, by and large, are closer in size. Okay, we went into industries as men that worked out our upper body more, and you all having to deal with the child rearing and things of that nature, you worked on your lower body. So women, by and large, are stronger from the waist down, and men, by and large, that doesn't mean every situation is like that, are stronger from the waist up. And on top of that, what you guys are talking about are the outskirts of a bell curve, right? The small percentage on either end of the spectrum.
Mhm.
Okay. Can the most skilled UFC fighter most likely beat the most skilled UFC fighter on the women's side? Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
But Ronda Rousey may frap Royce and Jay Zilla up.
Because he took it easy on her.
No.
Because he didn't want
Hold on,
to
let
get
me-
her
And
off.
guys,
Well, let me say
Hang on.
that.
Hang
Look,
on. She's trained.
she may get me on the skill, but I'm gonna grapple that A. I'm gonna put
Yeah,
my
and it's
man
not
strength.
about-
Literally a master at grappling. What the crap are you talking about?
It's not
that's
about
when
being the
I think that's the
strongest
power
either.
that I feel like at that point as a man, you know what I'm saying? I may not look like it, but I'm a solid 200, right? Now, I mean, Ross
Bro,
can come in,
she
you know what I'm saying? Rousey, yeah, if she did,
How
but I
tall are you,
guarantee
Royce?
you, I'm 6'1". But I guarantee you, Rousey, I mean, she may got good with the skill, but when it comes
I
to
wanna
strength,
make this
my
fight happen.
ego, even
I'ma
we
call
talking about
Ronda.
egos, my ego will fuel my strength to be like, oh heck no, I'm about
You
to
have
choke
to
this
take
B
it
out.
easy on her.
Except
Y'all
have
talking
to
about
take it easy
professionals,
on
but what
her.
about real life situation?
real life
It's
Real life
not,
situations.
it's not
Men are
always
gonna
about strength. It's about
real
how you
life
move.
situations. Right. Because I mean,
It's about how
let's
you
be
move. You
real.
could be smarter and still, girl, you okay? It's not about your
She ain't
strength
gonna
all
get
the
me.
time, honey. It's not about your strength all the time. It's about how you think and how you move.
She ain't gonna get
If
me.
you know,
I'm
if
sorry.
you know that man bigger
Bro.
than you got to think smarter. Of course, it'd be dumb to try to fight him like he would fight you.
But understand
Think
what
smarter.
jujitsu is.
Because I'm gonna
Jiu-jitsu-
definitely take him and knock him out.
Listen,
I'm gonna definitely
jujitsu.
find a way.
Jiu-jitsu is literally taking the strength of someone else and adding it to your own. There are literal moves that Royce, as big and strong and fast as you are, if someone is trained in the arts of jiu-jitsu, they can literally turn that and use it against you. So it's not just your own power that she flips on you, it's also the power that she brings with it. And she puts you in an arm lock, her entire body versus your big old man's shoulder is not gonna win. You're not.
Hold on,
gonna
then I'll
win.
be like, I'll be like what Asia said.
That's not true.
I'm
I've definitely been
pinch
in a
that little
situation
thing
like
at the
that
end, at the
before.
end of her chest.
Wait. She's got actual experience. I want to hear.
I've
Asia's
definitely been in a situation like that before.
Talk to me. Which
And
part?
I did take him down, choked him out.
That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
And he
If
was
you
a
hit
solid, he was a solid 260.
Right.
If I know you don't know me, but I'm like 5'8", and I'm slim thick.
You're
And
tall.
I'm 5'8". Hold on now. I'm about 5'8", and I weigh about 160, and that's the most I've ever weighed. I usually weigh around 145. Okay.
And that's
So-
your benefit.
So like I said, it doesn't have nothing. It's not always dealing with strength, honey. It's about how you move. You
But
got
you're
to be smart.
tall.
I mean, I hear
Honey.
you, but that ain't my.
It's
but
about
look,
how smart you are. He was a
Look.
solid 260
Right.
at almost
you doing
6
the thing.
feet.
Royce,
He was like 5'11".
mhm.
That doesn't have nothing to do with it. You got to move smarter.
Okay.
Right.
I hear
Listen,
you.
and Miss
I
Deonta
hear you.
Dragons, listen, I don't want you to feel attacked or gain up on here. But when you
No,
talk
no, you're
about
fine.
combat, when you talk about combative sports or even in
I
real
played.
life, it really is the
That's been
person
my
who has
life.
the most right. It really is the person who has the most knowledge. Now, here's something I want to point out to you, Miss Deonta Dragons, and anybody else who may be out there. You just thank Asia for her service. I just said I'm glad she did it because I don't know if I could stay calm under pressure like that. I'm very emotional. I am 6'4", 350 plus pounds, a swift 350.
Jesus.
Okay. Yeah. Well, but played a little college ball at Vandy. So but the ideal is literally, I don't know if I could do that. I literally had a guy who did high school wrestling. He did not wrestle at the collegiate level or beyond that. And he was a lot smaller than I was. I'm a big old football player. This is at my prime. I was like, what's the deal about wrestling? And he literally told me it's about your knowledge of where to use which technique and how. Like size.
And how fast you move
now,
too. 'Cause
They're used to, right. But there used to not be. But if you're smart enough in the actual discipline, right, you can adjust to how much faster another person is.
mhm.
And so what I did, I said, hey, can we just wrestle real quick? Because I'm 6'4" at the time, 290, right? He was a baseball player who was about 5'9", 5'10", right? Maybe $160 soaking wet.
Yeah.
But within seconds of our match starting, I was in some kind of weird pretzel, right? And had to tap out. He just simply had more knowledge about how to do those things.
Mhm.
Okay. Miss Deonta Dragons. All I'm saying is you just thank Asia for her service. You can't then turn around and say, yeah, but I'd rather have a man soldier protect me.
Yes.
Like the people I trained with, hang on, the people I trained with when I did my weapons training, right? The people I trained with, literally, there were some of the women who were top marksmen and top hand-to-hand combat. Like it really is about the training at that point. And any sort of Marine will tell you the same thing. So I'm just saying, be careful with that.
I was just going to ask you, when you stand next to a short person, do you feel dominant?
Who is that?
Which one? Who she talking to? Which one?
All of you guys. I'm shorter than all of you.
Do we feel dominant when? Sorry.
When you stand next to a short person.
You want to be honest? I'll
It
be
depends
honest
on
with you.
some egos, but definitely not mine. No.
If it comes to like a woman, to be real, I there's a sense of like overprotective thing with me. Like, oh dang, okay, yeah, she a little, you know what I'm saying, little.
Well, like
I'll make sure that's just natural though.
Short guy, you're like, do you like?
Now, I mean, I have to say that because my best friend is short, and that boy is something else, So I don't feel like I need to protect him.
Short,
the short ones I know, they are beasts.
My boy Josh is short, but that boy got some power.
Hey, shout out to
I feel safe when I'm around Josh. I'm like, man, shoot, I know Josh gonna do some, But like on a woman's thing, like when they're shorter, I just feel like I gotta protect you. Like if they're shorter,
that's another layer right there.
It'll be messed up.
And that's about
it'll be messed up. Yeah, because it'll be messed up, Asia and Ashley. Like
short people.
It'll be messed up, Asia and Ashley. If I was like, okay, like I see that y'all were shorter than me and stuff like that, and then I'll be like, oh shoot, they good. When danger comes, like, oh y'all got it, I'm gone. Shoot, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Then we'll get to talk. Then the woman get mad. Why didn't you protect me? Well, because you said that you knew how to do certain things. And I'm like, well, I think, and this is where I can stop this conversation. It just depends on the situation. I agree with both of you guys.
Yeah, because if a man was
because there may not be a man around at that time. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do what you got to do, Ashley. Exactly. That's being real. Got to do what you got to do. But when there's a man around, I wouldn't say don't defame or bash the man for wanting to protect you as a man.
Nah.
That's just a natural thing. That's just something we want to do. Like that's all we want to do, for the ones that really care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about to say not all men these days.
Yeah,
Don't-
yeah. I
don't
mean,
run
you know,
past
we
your
got
ass.
some grandddads from Boondocks around here that just be men just for themselves. They got it, but like a
Mhm.
real man would really naturally would want to protect the woman, even if she's taller than him, bigger than him, stronger than him. All that we're it's just a natural thing in a lot of us that we want to do, and we just don't want to be. We don't want to be told well, we can just do it ourselves. We don't need y'all around to do this stuff. Okay, cool. I'll go back to my last point. Prove
Mhm.
it. And then once that happens, then we can have an analysis and be like, okay, see what just happened right there? All right. Now I let her beat your A. You know what I'm saying? I let her beat your A. Now that you see you got your A whooped, I'm gonna come in and assist the next time this happens again. Like I don't think there's no reason to prolong this whole thing. Like I love women and I naturally want to protect a woman. That's just me, man.
Shout out to
That's just how my
And
mama
that's
raised
you,
me.
Royce. But a
man.
lot of men these days are not like that.
I feel sorry for
Wait,
them.
what?
But
What?
we got to be careful with these broad brushstrokes, right? You got to be careful with it. Like that.
I
mean,
didn't
you
say
did
all,
some.
honey.
I
I'm
know you
always
said
about
some.
balance. I
Not
said
you,
some.
not you specifically. You
Yeah,
said
okay.
some. So, yeah.
Every time I say something,
Same team. You know, I'm
every
saying
time I say something.
these are the things that we have to be careful. No, it just brought to my point. Like you did a fantastic job being fair, Asia. My
I
bad.
am. Balance is everything.
Firm but fair. I love it. Yeah. So for
Okay,
I'm
Asia,
saying
Asia.
us as Asia. Look, Asha is my wife thing, and all the ASs floating around in the comments and on the screen.
Oh, when you were saying Ashley, you was talking to
Are
me.
people yelling at me? Sorry.
Oh wow.
No. No one's yelling.
Yeah,
No.
sorry,
We're all
I
adults.
know.
Like we're not. Listen, no one's yelling at you in the comments. You're one of the faves. So listen, what I'm saying is, shout out to I don't know if you anime fans out there, right? Watch any of y'all watch anime. There's a show. One of the shows is what is it? The Mightiest Disciple. Look, my wife is gonna kill me for not knowing, right? And there's a character in there named Kenichi, right? And he is one of the weakest men on the planet. Like you've never seen somebody this weak, right? His little sister is tougher than he is. But anyway, fast forward. He sees this lady being accosted, right? And he jumps in and goes, "No, stand back. I'll take care of it." Now, what he doesn't know is that she is trained in martial arts by some of the greatest fighters on the planet, and she is no joke. She does not need him at all. And the running joke in the series is this master female fighter. The entire series is being protected by this little runt. He's like, "No, I'll handle this. You say back, Mia." It's like, what? What are we doing? What are we doing? But I digress. What we all need to be looking at is how can we get along to get along? Okay, in your personal relationship, that is your right with your significant other to figure out what works best for y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is we got a lot of people who are putting what they believe to be true onto everyone else as if it is one universal truth. And
Yep.
that's not the case. Right? Oh, thank you, wife. In the comments. That's what I'm talking about. Kenichi, the mightiest disciple. Yes. All right. So Royce, on that note,
Yes.
we try to define like happiness and like love and these things of like terms like should, right? I love the beginning of this episode that we talked about. Actually, we talk about men versus women. We need to be talking about the kids. And I think just like they tell you when you go get on the airplane, you have to put that oxygen mask on you first so that you're not passing out while trying to help others. You know what I'm saying? So instead of maybe one body, you got two bodies now because you didn't take care of you. So it absolutely is an individual thing first. And then if you add on a significant other, you two should be moving in lockstep together to be a reflection.
That's
okay,
right.
And show the children by your actions. Right. And this is the biggest problem. Go ahead, Royce.
Yeah. So I mean, even just to because I think we're going around in circles with a lot of this, and everybody's giving good points because I see where everybody's coming from. I really do, and a lot of it's based off of experience too, because sometimes we can we can come up with a conclusion of how we're going to approach things now in this day and time based off of what we've been through. And that's understandable too. We got scars and we're like, you know what? I ain't going to go through this again. So I'm going to make sure I have this together so I don't have to worry about this the next time. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. Where I feel like what we should do as individuals is keep it individual. You know, do what's going to work for you. You know what I mean? And I'm the blame from a lot of this stuff too. When I say, okay, well, I feel like men should do this, men should do that, women should do that. Okay. And I talked about this frap the other week. Remember I said, you know what? I'm going to try my best to work on explaining or telling my personal experience. Now, it could help somebody, right? But at least I'm not telling them, do this, do that, do this, do that, cut the grass, don't cut the grass, pay all this, don't pay all that. I said, okay, cool. I agree with the partnership thing, what Asia's saying. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Wholeheartedly, I agree with it. Because, you know, one of my sisters, you know what I'm saying? They divorced, not over love. It was over some business stuff. You know what I'm saying? It kind of,
it's hard out here for everybody.
I was hurt. I was like, man, I
It's the
love
number
my
one.
brother-in-law, man. Y'all should have stayed together. But this part happened. But I think
real quick, finances is the number one reason for divorce.
That for divorce, big
not
time.
infidelity, not
Right.
abuse, finances.
Yep.
So,
And that's a fact.
But I will not, though. I will not. I still want to keep love in the picture. Now, love is not going to hold everything together when it comes to real life. I think love holds everything together when it comes to morality. You know what I'm saying? And doing the right thing, doing the right or wrong thing is based out of love. Like, okay, I'm doing this because I love you, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's just simple right there. When it comes to business, love ain't got nothing to do with money at all. For the love of it can cause many things. See how they correlate. But I just wish that we just work on our individual selves. I agree with both of you ladies, and I hope both of you ladies, you know, find something that's going to fit what's going to keep you happy, you know, and it's out there. It's really out there. And that's really all to say of that. Like, I'm on a journey myself, so I don't have too much to say to it just based off of what I've been through. I'm going through a healing process. I'm doing a Michael Jackson. I'm looking myself in the mirror and be like, okay, cool. What can I give? What can I do 100% that's going to fit the other piece of this puzzle that this young lady can do for me? You know what I'm saying?
Can I say something to you, Royce?
Wait.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
go ahead.
So I've been knowing you for some years now. We don't really know each other, but you know, we got history.
It works,
So
yeah.
I feel like for the most part, you're a really good dude, man. And I say more logical too. And I actually like that about you. But of course, balance is very important. But all I have to say to you is keep working on you, do what makes you happy, and shit's gonna fall into place naturally. Don't go looking, just put yourself out there in the universe and do what makes you happy, because we're logically speaking and spiritually, but logically speaking, when you put yourself out there and you're just doing what you love to do, somebody's gonna be in that same place. Like, let's say, like, I like to get into creating different things. If I go to a place where I'm creating things and I meet somebody at that place, shit's gonna pop off naturally. You know, we're gonna sort of like doing the same things that we like to do, right? And that's part of having the same love language in a way. And
I mean,
then communication.
Yeah, you're right. That's the situation.
So logically and spiritually, that works out for you. So keep doing you, keep healing. I love it. I feel like you're a positive role model out here for a lot of men right now. I'm glad you're and Jay Zilla, thank you for having this platform, because you know a lot of people will be seeing this and listening. But keep doing what you're doing, put yourself out there in that universe and do what you love, and that's just gonna work out for you.
I love it. Look, I want the three of you give a shortest answer as you can, right?
Oh, okay, my bad.
No. That was brilliant. And man, listen, Royce and I, we have our own journey, right? And some people are gonna hear that and say, no, not Royce. And I'm telling you, he did one of the biggest things you can do. One, talk about his own traumas, and two, own up to his mistake.
Yep.
After that, and since he talked on this very platform about like I've lied about things, I played girls, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, Royce. There was a time in my life where I really did feel superior to the type of guy you were, right? But hold for it, ready? My superiority came from, I'm gonna tell women up front that I don't want a relationship. And that way I can sleep with as many women as I want to. And that way, how honorable of me, how good of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get really, really sad looking back on some of the powerful women that have just gone under in my wake because I treated them like a piece of property.
Mm-hmm.
And Royce and I are copping to that. And we're saying to other men, it doesn't look like that's the best way of doing it. And we're saying to women,
exactly, because it is common.
Right. We're saying to women, now that the tables have turned, you called us all kinds of dogs and crispity, crackety, crunchy, no good, good for nothing, whatever's. And now that y'all have the power, what are you saying? I can wear what I want. I can suck and ride what I want. Ain't nobody tell me nothing. Like, we can't flip it like that. There's something missing in all that. And I really do think it's communication. Like my wife and I, we knew each other in high school. We dated in high school. We broke up. We made friends, and then years later, reconnected. But he knows way more about me than I would like for her to, right? Because she was with me when I was on drugs and drinking and whatever, right? Just out there doing my thing. She was, aware of that because she was a friend that I would still try to talk to and avoid whenever she had good advice. I don't want to hear that. She means stop drinking 8 a.m. in the morning. Now, girl. But now I'm better. She amens in the
Go ahead, wifey.
Right. The ideal behind all that is now that we're older, Royce and I, as men, we're saying like, oh no, we thought that was the way to do it because we were taught by some no good, nothing men. And we just pass it along without questioning, is there real validity in this? And I love what my wife said in the comments. Love is an action word. You're saying love isn't enough in the comments, Ashton.
Yes,
Ashton, my good friend Ashton. Shout out to
you
Spring.
You can't just say it.
It's not right. It's not this Disney thing of like, oh, that's part of it. There's sexual and physical attraction. Yeah, that may be what draws you there, but it's not what keeps you. And love is an action word. If you think about even in religion, God says, I got something that y'all can't even imagine. No human that ever has been, is, or will ever be can imagine what I have in store for those who love me. So now my whole thing is like, man, I got to get in these scriptures and figure out what the crap does love mean. I want that reward, right? And what it basically says is, if you love me, you'll obey my commandments. Oh, so I can't be around here treating women like garbage. I can't be around here because I'm bigger than the average man, pushing them and bending them to my will. Like I'm supposed to acquire much and then use that to help others. There's a whole lot of stuff going on there, right? It's a whole lot of stuff. And Ashton, it hurts for me to hear you say love is not enough when love is everything. Love makes you get up early in the morning to prepare some things. Love makes you get a job. Love
was you talking to me again?
No. So there's Asia.
Oh, okay.
Ashton in the comments.
Oh,
right?
okay.
There's Ashley in the comments, and then there's my wife.
A lot of A's in here.
That's what I do. Yeah.
A lot of A's.
Right.
I love it.
So,
I look forward to every morning.
Yeah.
Just because I know it's not gonna last forever.
Oh, and that breaks my heart to hear that.
I don't know if you guys still have your grandparents, but I miss calling my
Ashton.
I miss calling my grannies.
I think that's what they're saying. It's not the only thing that makes
Ashton.
it, but I still believe in it though. It's not the only thing that makes it, but I just
it's balanced.
Wait a minute, hang on.
Because a lot of people are calling love, and they not loving.
No, the balance is
a lot of people are not in love.
I'm saying you can't also go through a marriage without love in there. If you're talking about a balance, like one can't do without the other.
Trying to subtract love. Nobody's saying they're subtracting love out the picture.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying I'm agreeing when you said you can't live off of it alone. I agree with that.
Yeah, Ashton's saying that too. That's right, Ashton.
Yeah, I agree with the balance. Somewhere I'm getting caught up in all these A's where somebody said love ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm like, wait, maybe it's the context. I feel there's got to be love in it. It's both of them got to be in it. There has to be a balance. No, I agree with that because I have been a fool for love, and then there it has. Yeah, I get it. No, I get it.
Wait, Royce, look, I got to issue an apology. I literally said, okay, I'm gonna give y'all a prompt, and we're trying to keep it short. And then my wife really walked in and was like, "Man, you just did a whole sermon. You keep it short. You did a whole sermon." Right? I don't need to be up here giving symposiums, but okay, here's my prompt. Right? Because Ashton is saying, and most of you agree, that love is not the only thing that makes it. So my question is, if love is an action verb, right? What outside of love is also needed? Ashton in the comments, and you lady, we'll start with you, Miss the Aunt of Dragons, and then we'll work our way through Miss Asia and go back to Royce. And I'm gonna do a little bit of shutting up for a bit.
Kiss me before you get out of bed. That's my final answer.
Oh, that's sweet. Miss Asia?
What'd she say again?
Kissing me before getting out of bed.
Oh. You said, what is love to me? Is that the question?
Mm-hmm. Or
Love
sorry,
to me-
what outside of love? You're saying love isn't enough. So can you quickly give what love is to you, and then what outside of that
What love is?
also makes
Okay.
a relationship?
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree that love is mostly an action. But let's see. To me, love is what's up?
Can I say something before she answers? While she thinks.
No, I was done thinking, but go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. Do you want to go or?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, girl.
Right. You okay?
I just want to say that you're already healed. You are already healed. You don't need to wait on the moon or the Taurus. You're already healed.
Okay, Miss Asia.
First I'm gonna say is, and I'm trying to say this with as much respect as possible. When you talk about astrology, learn more about it. You can't talk about things that you really don't know about, because that made it just didn't make no logical sense. But as far as like what,
Hang on, wait, ladies, both of you.
Royce.
She said,
Hang
wait
on,
on the Taurus, it
hang
makes
on.
no logical sense.
Hang
But
on,
anyway.
I'm in the back room, but I mean no disrespect. Hang on just a minute. Okay. We do not want to discourage anybody's path to their own goals. This is an inclusive show. I'm a Christian. Okay. I have my set of beliefs, and that works for me and my wife and my house. Right. As the book says, me and mine shall serve the Lord. Okay. But that is like part of the Bible literally says, don't be around here forcing your religious beliefs on anyone else. Or
I didn't. She said, wait on the Taurus. It made no sense. All I'm telling her, if she's going to speak on it, then just learn about it more. That's all I'm saying.
I'm getting to that. Hang on. Miss the Aunt of Dragons is discounting it and saying that it's fake.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that we're not here to do that on this show. You can have your opinion and say, hey, for me, I don't, in my experience, it hasn't. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. No, I hear
you. Like I said, I knew this was a bad idea.
No, it's a good idea. Listen,
you can have your opinion, but just make sense of it. Like you weren't making no sense of it.
Wait.
Know about what you're talking about.
I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I know that.
Hang on. Here's what I'm saying to you. Like, there's no need to apologize. Okay, like you're fine. I'm just setting the rules for this platform. And in this platform, what we don't want to do is down anybody else's religious beliefs or regular beliefs.
I know I'm an idiot. I'm your own experience. I know what I'm talking about. I apologize.
Right. Well, and that is fair to do. Like, if I know nothing about astrology, like me, listen, I don't put any validity to it because I don't know anything about it, so I don't speak on it. Right. But I have had, like, you know, I've had my daughters and my wife get into it and tell me about a Sagittarius, and it does sound a lot like me. I will say
because
that.
it is a science. It's down to a science. It's more than what she speaks. But I just want to say someone for people that are listening. Sure. When it comes to astrology, that's spirituality. It doesn't mean we don't love God. It don't. You know where I'm coming from? Like people try to break us away from that. Like, oh, she's a witch, or oh, she prayed for the devil. No,
right.
We have the most love. We are above religion, honey. All right. So when it comes down to it, though, like if you have an opinion on anything, you can't have an opinion if you don't know about it. You feel what I'm saying? And that just goes for me, too. If I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, then I'm not going to speak on it. Just like Jay, like you said. Mm-hmm. So but back to what love is to me.
Love to you.
Yeah, love to me is
what outside of that. Sorry, the second part is what outside of that is also needed if love isn't enough.
Right. So what we spoke on earlier, well, love, first of all, what love is to me is pretty much everything in a balance, like respect, loyalty, responsibility. To me, that's what love is. Like you and self-love, because if you don't have love for yourself, how are you going to love me? And a lot of people don't understand really what self-love is. They don't understand themselves. So once you deeply understand self-love and you go through ups and downs and you know how to heal yourself, you spending that time to yourself, you learning boundaries, you have discernment, you're going to learn how to love. You're going to want that. And I don't want y'all to get me wrong. Just because I'm an independent woman, it don't mean that I don't want to
love yourself.
Of course I want a man. You know what I mean? Of course I want a man. And if and when I do have a man around, things is good. I know how to help him, feel like, he's a man. Even though I feel like I shouldn't belittle myself or anything, but I know how a man, sometimes, like Royce was saying, ego can get in the way of both of us. It's okay to have a little balance of that ego in you. And I know how to help my man feel like a man. All right. But on the outside of love, I feel like being financially responsible also, like, because we do live in a world, like, it's crazy today. Like, everybody's hurting financially. Like you said, that's the leading thing that causes divorces. So why not prevent it? In order to prevent it, have discernment on who you're with. Make sure they're at least financially responsible. And I'm not saying you can't go through shit. We all go through shit. That's not what I'm saying here. And I'm not saying you have to be rich. You don't have to take me to no restaurant. I don't need no Birkin bag, none of that. That's not the type of woman I am. What I'm saying is, just be financially responsible, because you're going to respect me more when we are together. That way we can help each other out instead of us dragging each other down, because somebody's not going to be happy.
Okay, Royce, what is love? And then if love isn't enough, right, as we get lots of amens out there.
Emotional stability, please. Woo, that unstableness when it comes to emotions.
My therapist would love to hear you say that. Royce, what is love? And if love isn't enough, what outside of love is also needed?
That's crazy. Drew Hill had a song called "Is Love Enough?" Actually, my boy Josh remixed the beat on that. But
shout out to Josh.
Yeah, Drew Hill has a song called "Is Love Enough?" And I don't mean to use this as a reference, but I'm a big Drew Hill fan. You know what I'm saying? And what was the first question? So I can. You said
what is love to you? And then if love isn't enough, what outside of love do you need to make a thriving relationship?
Man, if we're speaking morally, love conquers all. If we're speaking marriage and partnership and all that, like, okay, I get it. I agree with that balance. I really don't have a definition of what love is, man, because I'm not gonna say people are weird, but people have different perspectives of love, man. Some people be frapping people up and call it love. You know what I'm saying? Or beating somebody's A and call it love.
Iceberg swim.
I see you asking.
I don't think there's no pure definition. I really just believe love is just a good feeling, man. Like when God said, if you love me, you keep my commandments, or out of all the 10 commandments, love thy neighbor as you do yourself. So that means if you love yourself, you're going to treat others the way you would want to be treated. I think that's just as simple as that, when it comes to love. Now, you got some people that may not love themselves, but guess what the outcome is to everybody else? They ain't going to give you that kind of love either. They're going to be selfish. They're going to be greedy. They're going to cheat on you. They're going to hit you because they're not working on what Asia says, self-love. Like, still can't leave love out the picture. You know what I mean? It still brings it all together. I think love is a moral thing that keeps us sane and making good decisions, man, because you care. I that's what love is to me, but is love enough? That's subjective. Love could be enough in one place, but love can't be enough in business or like we say, a marriage. As I do look at marriage as a partnership. I agree to that. You know what I'm saying?
Just a relationship. Period.
Yeah,
it's a committed relationship.
Yeah, and I do agree that you can't live off love alone in relationships. I get it. I get it. But then you can't live without it either. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, it's just gonna be a business transaction. And like what my mama said one time, she said, with I don't want to put my dad out there, but there's people that she dated with, she was like, she said, I love him, but I don't like him. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? or I like them, but I don't love them.
Oh,
You know what I
Lord.
mean? Like you gotta like the person you with too. But
Most
it's such a
definitely.
tough thing, man. It's a tough thing. But to me, love is a moral thing. You feel what I'm saying? Is love enough? It's very subjective. I can't say yes or no. It depends on what situation you're in. But damn it, I love love. I do. I
Oh,
love love. I do. That's what makes me generally care for people.
Mhm.
Even if I don't have a business transaction with them, like, hey, what you need? You need help on that, bro? No, I got you. Just something. I don't even know you. Just to help you pick up this, or you drop something. Like, oh, okay. My care for human beings. I want to do that from the love of my
Mhm.
heart. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's just so subjective, man. And man, I'm just working on some things, man. That's all I'm doing, man. That's all I can
Well, you
say,
sound
bro.
good to me.
That's all
my
I'm doing.
man. So here's, man, I almost feel guilty because I feel like having a relationship with Christ for me is like a cheat code. Because we're sitting here saying, oh, I don't know what love is. Christ kept it very simple. Love God with all your heart and all your might, all those things. And then love thy neighbor as thyself. He includes 3 groups. And he says that will cover a multitude of sins. It covers all, it can conquer all. I mean, you've heard this stuff before. What is love? Well, when you be patient and you show kindness, right?
Mhm.
If you're not envious, if you don't boast, if you're not arrogant or rude, if you don't insist on your own way, don't be irritable, resentful. These are all like action things.
Mhm.
So, this is what I'm saying to Miss Ashton in the comments, right? By the way, Ashton is an old classmate of mine, and my spirit animal.
I like
Uh,
Aston.
so literally, when you say love is not enough, and I'm asking you to tell me what outside of love, I mean, this is part of my Christian privilege showing, right? Because to me, all of those things that you do, Royce, when you helping people, when you tell your story, you ladies talk on this platform about your abuses and overcoming that. And now you come out on the other side with a new way of doing things, right? I'm sure maybe it don't work out exactly like you wanted to, but if your significant others showed any type of, aggression in the wrong way, that's probably a red flag. And he's probably not gonna last.
Exactly. You
But
got
I'm
to act
saying,
on your discernment, and I
yeah,
know that was my mistake, was acting on it. I don't know what it was like. Do I need to see how red flag he can get?
yeah.
But it
I mean,
most definitely taking action on the fucking discernment is very imperative.
fine. Okay, but like literally, like, girl, he hit me in my left eye, but he didn't hit the right one.
Oh yeah,
The
nah,
things that we do
straight out the door.
kind of, but think about this. All of y'all talked about things to do outside of love, and for me as a Christian, those fall within the bylaws of love. Being
Mhm.
patient, helping the homeless person, taking care of your babies,
Mhm.
right? All of that falls in love. Like for me, the Bible is talking about obey my commandments. And here's the main 2. Love me, saying God, love me, love each other, love yourself.
Yeah.
That's not a suggestion, that is a commandment.
Yes.
I'm demanding y'all to love. And here's what love means. You're not gonna try to cheat each other, rob each other, steal from each other. Ain't no great situation going on. Shout out to Royce, right? All these things. And when you step outside of that, you're stepping outside of God's love and therefore his rewards and promises. So I think one thing we can do is try to look at the definitions of these terms we keep flinging at each other.
You
Okay?
know, I've known quite a few people because I help heal people too, and I get down using astrology down to reading their birth charts for communication, and understanding, because we all know communication is important, but it's not key. Understanding is key, because you can communicate all you want, but if you're not understanding my language, where are we getting?
Lord, these novellas in here. Oh,
But you
Lord.
can love somebody so much
You can love somebody so much, and I think this is where Ashton and me kind of come from too. Is the thing that you need more than love, and what you spoke on is discernment and boundaries, and knowing when when to leave a situation, because you could love somebody so much you could tear you down. Then what?
But that's the thing,
But that's
right?
also part of self-love, though, right?
But here's the thing.
But a lot of people don't hold that balance.
But for you in that situation, Asia, in that very particular scenario, me showing you love is me leaving. I don't want to keep putting you in a position to where you're so irritable
And that's what you would do. Yeah.
that you use me as a punching bag. I got
Right.
to go to save your life because you hit me one more again.
I know exactly.
You hit me
It's
one
gonna
more
be some
time.
problems.
I'm gonna survive this whooping. You might not survive this 22 in the purse. So because I love you, we got to get away from each other.
Mhm.
And that's okay. That's
Exactly.
okay. If Mr. Aunt of Dragons gets with the man who's like, oh, babes, someone's at the door, will you go check it for me? Hey, because I love you so much, sweetheart, this is the last night you spend here. What the frap you mean, go check? Ain't you a man? Right? But on the flip
That's messed
side,
up.
Asia is gonna feel like we all have the different ways of doing this, but it can fall within a universal.
You said I would
idea.
feel some type of way because I let my man check the door.
No. I'm saying if Miss the Aunt of Dragons, who is of the belief, and stop me if I'm wrong, okay? She's
Mhm.
of the belief that if there's a banging at the door,
Mhm.
that the man should be the one, and stop me if I'm wrong, the man should be the one to go see about that. Right? Miss the Aunt of Dragons?
It started with Madonna. That's my answer.
See, going back to Madonna. Look, man, you say it started with Madonna, but the bowling.
No, I didn't. It didn't start there, but okay.
The bowling.
But my thing
girl-
is, it depends on who said
hang
it.
on, Asia. Hang on, Asia. You say it started with Madonna, but the
Where
bowling
did it
sister
start then?
literally played King Henry. This is centuries before Madonna. Centuries before
Okay,
Madonna.
so
They tried to
so
kill Cleopatra,
so
and she flipped it to become queen. Centuries
Yeah.
before Madonna.
I remember
So
Sorry,
he,
go ahead.
he told us that we didn't need men to defend us.
No. I'm not saying that. Here's the scenario. Okay, the scenario is there's a banging at the front of the door, and your man rolls over to you, Miss the Aunt of Dragons, and says to you, "I don't know what that is. Go check on. Go see about that."
Get your ass up.
I'm saying love could for you look like. Now this is this dude's last time here. Why is he sending his woman to check on a potential danger? Am I correct in assuming that?
I'm sure. Yeah. You're
Right.
right.
Whereas the opposite may be true with Asia, right? Her
Like
man
I
hopped
said,
up-
no,
her man hopped
y'all
up-
still not understand me. If my man is there, I'm gonna let my man be what he feel is a man. But he's not always. I'm not always gonna have
Yeah.
you okay because you over there having a seizure. Anyway, like I
am,
said,
yeah.
like my man, if I have a man in my life, I'm gonna let him be a man, but he's not always gonna have to worry about me needing him for everything. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not
So if he's
codependent.
gone,
Yeah,
gone,
that's what that
he
is.
can rest assured that, baby, I know what a gun is too. And last time we went shooting together, I kind of beat you. My marksmanship is on point. Okay, the larger point I'm making is that this is up for each other to figure this out. There has to be communication. You gotta
Exactly.
put the work in first. These days, the reverse engineering of relationships. Wow, I'm gonna give you the most intimate part of me, and then figure out if I like the way you chew. That's wild to me.
Yeah, it is to me
On a
too.
date, I bumped into you at the club and we went home. I didn't even get your name.
Nah,
You know what I mean? Maybe we should get to know each other first, right?
exactly. Yep.
Even getting down to politics, you sitting down thinking, "Ooh, he's really tall and cute." So tell me something about yourself. Oh, first, let's talk about this Biden character. Oh, okay. Okay. You know what I mean? There's some things we got to figure out before, and that's all I'm saying. Let's put things in order and put these
And I agree with that.
and put these terms into a shared reality. Like,
But back to
love
what
is- yeah,
back to what you were saying in the beginning, when you was giving that scenario, some women are head of household. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of people, like, she wasn't looking at that at first. Some women are head of household, so I'm not gonna wait on a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I have one, cool, it might work out that way.
But you have to define what head of household means, because I'm the head of my household, but my wife works for a major bank, it would be ridiculous of me to say, baby, I'm the man of the household. I decide what happens with the money. No, it's something we do together.
Well,
you know what I mean?
well,
Like,
well,
I'm head of
yeah,
household, but
okay.
she has some talents that I am deficient in, and together we move forward in how to set up budgets and all the things.
I'm responsible. I'm the responsible one in the house that takes care and makes sure everybody's safe.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. Miss the Aunt of Dragons. And then
That's
we'll
the
give y'all
problem.
shout outs and wrap up. Yes, ma'am.
That's the problem with the Black household. The Black woman has to always be the leader because the Black man doesn't want to stay around. That's the problem.
Statistically,
like, why don't pay attention to that? Like,
that's
I
not
was
statistically true.
seeing
Though.
something the other day where this girl was like, I text the dad and he didn't want to see the kids. And I'm like, yeah, because he didn't want the kids, plural. Why did you keep going? Why did you keep going? So if you made a mistake, own it, and then teach the younger generation, teach the kids to not do that.
Do what?
To not sleep, have frivolous sex.
Don't you go
Planned
nowhere.
Parenthood was
It don't
all
matter. You can have
condoms.
kids, and somebody can change their mind.
It was not about abortions. Planned Parenthood was not about abortions. Planned Parenthood was about condoms. Someone, I don't know who, I'm gonna figure this out. Someone said Planned Parenthood was about abortions. It was about condoms first. Who stopped giving out condoms? Who stopped saying that, oh, HIV is okay? Who stopped saying that?
I never heard that.
Me neither.
Yes. In the gay community everywhere, they're like, oh, I have HIV and it's okay. And it's like, no.
There's commercials about that,
I
yeah.
see what you're saying, but I hear
Yeah.
people say that about. I see people. I hear people say that about herpes.
I can show you several people.
No. Listen, but the internet is a wild. Listen, I love Bo Burnham. If y'all know who he is, he's got a song out, and he literally says he's singing as the internet, and he says, "May I offer you a little bit of everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all the time." That's the internet, but it's up to us to be discerning. Of course,
exactly.
Like there are people still attacking TD Jakes, right? When those comments came from someone who said they heard from someone who heard from someone else who saw an email. Like someone on TikTok just made up a bunch of stuff about TD Jakes, and people, he had to address it.
Yep, just ran along with it.
Out there on the internet. It is wild out there on the internet. You can put a prompt in a dadgum space, and it can make a video for you.
Oh yeah, AI. Oh yeah. I say all the time.
No, here's what I'm saying. Here's my point. Here's my point of that. You have to be careful of taking that little thing on the internet and applying it to the larger picture, and then starting to combat it. Did you know?
I'm talking about real life people. Real life people.
And I guarantee you, those people are on some type of app, and they're getting their news the way a lot of people get their news, which is
real life people who I know in real life.
Right. So you're saying a gay person who is out there and saying, I ain't worried about HIV. Yeah, and
because
the man got good. Listen,
I know more than one person with HIV, and they're like, it's okay to have sex with me. I'm a theater person. I'm in theater.
Yes,
I know a lot of gay men. They all not they all, God.
So here's what I'm saying.
You're gonna get canceled.
Let me try to clean it up. Hold on. Let me try to clear that up. In my experience, here's what I'm saying. My point in all this is to say you to be more accurate in these types of conversations with people, right? Because you seem like a person who does care about other people's feelings and where they're coming from, and you want their knowledge to couple with yours so we can all figure out a possible solution to all of this chaos that we all have found ourselves in. And what I'm saying to you, it may serve you better. I don't know. It may serve you better if you say, in my experience, the gay men that I know are just out here willy-nilly with it. But you can't say all, because I too know gay people.
No, not all. I'm not saying all.
Okay. That's all I'm saying with that. Okay?
I'm saying that they should just give out condoms. When do we stop giving out condoms?
Condoms don't feel that good. And they're
people
not
still gonna decide what they want to do.
And
Yeah.
that's not gonna
So
stop
you
me.
want an STD?
No. It's free will. Like what you're talking about is the same
Free will?
thing. Okay,
What?
hang on.
Yeah,
The
hold on.
same
Listen
thing-
to what he's saying. I get where he's coming from.
Crazy?
We
the
bringing this all
same-
together. Hold
Hear
on.
me out. You'll get your chance, I promise. Here's what I'm saying. Okay, Tucker Carlson just went to Russia to do an interview with Vladimir Putin. And he's
Yeah.
around there. Look how nice the grocery stores are. Look how cheap
Mm-hmm.
and good the food is. There's no
Mhm.
graffiti or homeless people. But what he's leaving out is that's because Putin is having them scooped up. It's literally having them scooped up. Like, so if you're gonna
Because they
talk
don't
about
allow
something, you
that.
have
They
to-
don't allow bad behavior. We allow bad behavior.
What I'm saying is there's
we say
That's
that
tough.
like, oh, you robbed the CVS. It's okay.
what
You
I'm
can
saying
go- you
is
can go on.
what I'm saying is the price that we pay for our free will and our freedoms here in this country that Miss Asia has fought for, that you wanted to fight for, that I was too afraid to fight for. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay. The price of that is sometimes people are going to do stuff that don't make sense to you, that you don't agree with, that you don't like, that is repulsive, whatever. Add whatever adjective you want to. But I really do believe that just like Dr. Martin Luther King was talking about, listen, man, white folks, y'all don't have to like us. Just
No.
tolerate me.
Nothing to
Just tolerate me a little bit. Tolerate me. Just can I at least have human status? And I think he was onto something there. You know,
There's
you two don't
nothing
agree.
to do with race. It's everything to do with right now. You are promoting criminals. You are promoting perverts.
What are you
And
saying?
why?
No, you lost me somewhere. Who am I promoting?
You're promoting criminals and perverts.
How so? I'm with you, Ashton. How so?
Who does the majority of crime in America? I'm talking about America. I'm not talking about Iran. I'm not talking about Canada. I'm not talking about Australia. In America, who does the majority of the crime?
I'm not aware of that statistic. I would
Black
guess
people.
men. That can't be statistically true.
It is. It is.
If you look at the 13th Amendment on that, there was a statistic
No.
on that.
We're
Right.
disproportionately no. Here's what I'm saying. We are disproportionately jailed and policed a very
If you give
certain
me
way.
2 minutes,
Right,
I
for a lot of
can
different
What I'm
reasons.
saying, are you saying that black people do drugs and commit crimes more than white people? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And what are you basing that statistic on?
If you give me 2 minutes, I can look it up for you right now.
Please, we'll put it in the chat. This is what I love about urban academia. Okay,
Yeah,
To the
and
side
that's interesting. She said that. If I may add to that, because there's this thing called
I
percentages,
just don't
but then there's
understand
this
how
thing
you was
called.
promoting it though.
Well, I mean, I understand where she's coming from in that sense too.
break it
I mean,
down
there's a
for us,
thing
Corey.
called percentages, and then there's a thing called ratio. Like, I mean, yes, there are more white people statistically here in America. You know what I'm saying? But then when it
Mm.
comes to you can say, okay, well, black people commit more crimes, but if you look at the ratio and like the ratio of it, I understand that. You know what I mean? Understand, but then I understand what Asia's saying when it's saying who said the jail part or whatever. Now, statistically, I feel like they're statistically black people are jailed, right? But they like
set
for
up
some there's a
for
lot of
so
things, and there's a
many
lot of
different
things
reasons.
now, a little something under the rug,
Exactly.
but
And even on the drug, like who doesn't know about the drug setup? Who don't know about the gun setup? Like,
and I want people to look at it like this. Statistically, there may be more white people here in America, right? You know what I'm saying? But then let's look at the ratio. If there's 10 black people, right? I'll narrow it down to this. If there's 10 black people and then 100 white people, right? Now, if they say, 50% of the white people committed the crime, then that's 50 white people out of that 100. If they say 50% of the black community creates the crime, that's only 5 black people.
exactly. And it's going to look like more black people commit the crime.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
y'all pay attention to the ratio. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But that's all I'm gonna say on that part. On
the
that sense right
demographics,
there.
the racial demographics of the incarcerated population are 31% white, 23% Hispanic, 10% multiracial or same other race, 2% American Indian. They're not even adding black people in here. That's one side. The other side
Black people are
does
truly
show
the
that
minority now.
black people are admitted to jail. I don't know if they're making the distinction between jail and prison, and federal versus state and all this stuff.
Mhm.
But black people are admitted to jail at more than 4 times the rate of white people.
And we already knew
Yeah.
this for many different reasons.
But I'm saying, and they are policed differently than anyone else on the planet.
Exactly. That's what I was getting from.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So I understand where she's coming from. I'm waiting for some clarification on how I was promoting it.
That was my main thing.
Yeah, but it's not. And listen, I brought up Dr.
Because the way
Martin.
you were promoting has nothing to do with what she's looking up right now.
Well, right, but I brought up Dr. Martin Luther King when he said that's just an example. I'm not making it a black-white thing. Again, I said I was a Christian. That means everybody belongs to God.
They can all get that guy.
Don't make it. Some of us are.
They can all get it.
Right. So if God is not saying race, like I don't care about that either. Right. My thing is the plea of that movement, the civil rights movement, was literally one of the lowest bars I've ever seen. Right, which was just consider us a full human. That's it.
Yep.
Get your knee off our necks, no pun intended. Okay. But it's not a race thing. Like the ideal of us tolerating each other is not such a bad idea. Like the old problem with the whole thing of desegregation in the first place was like, we need the books and resources that y'all are getting. And so the plan was, okay, maybe if we mix in some black and white kids together, surely they won't, defund our schools and teachers and, not give us old, outdated textbooks if their own children go along with us. What they did not account for was that there's a group of people who are willing to let some of the poor whites go as well. But it's not about race. Do you have the website for us?
But Royce, can you say what you said before? She says.
Talking about the ratio. Did you?
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
listening.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
So this is what she has pulled up for us, which is this is my demographic, right? 49% Indigenous Americans, 48%, right? Which this math doesn't even add up.
Wait a minute. Bring that back.
You can't say that. No, I mean, there's no need for that. Like,
Oh, okay. All right. No.
I'm sure you got that from a site. Like, do you know the actual site it is so we can get the full context of that particular article? Because they're saying 49%, right? Black, 48%.
Hold on. What is this percentage of though? So I know what's going on. The crime.
49% Black, Indigenous Americans, 48%, right? Whites, 42%, Asians, 40%. That is more than 100%. That is mathematically incorrect. But what I'm saying, the point that we were discussing was there's a reason behind that. It's not that Black people are generally more criminal. We are policed in this particular country a lot differently than other races.
And you are aware of that, right?
Literally, the police. Are you aware of where the police force even came from? Like originally, they were to capture slaves and return them to their masters. And literally, sometimes those Black people were not even slaves. They were scooped up and put on somebody's plantation anyway. Right? And again, I'm not trying to make this a white. You're shaking your head vigorously. Which part are we messing up on?
Is that a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Why is Chicago falling apart?
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. I mean, Chirac.
Listen,
come on now.
Who's the main part of the crime problem?
Right, but see when it comes out, even though
we lost the beginning of that.
That's one place. Okay.
Why does no one want to visit Atlanta anymore?
No, there's plenty of cities that got huge crime with Black people. I see.
Why
I know
does
what you're
no
getting.
one like Miami? I hate Miami.
But hang on,
Miami.
Hang on, Mr. Uncle Dragons.
I hate Miami.
Hang on just a moment. But that is the equivalent of saying that 99% of crimes committed in Sweden by white people.
Yeah, because they're Swedish. Because they're Swedish.
So that's
the United States is a melting pot. So everyone is here. Everyone is here.
Except
Right?
depending
Who
upon the
is
policies.
committing the most crime? And it's like, it's so weird. It's so weird. Like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like, I feel like I'm like going out full Alex Jones here. Why is no one admitting to the problem? The problem is we're giving Black people a pat on the hand, being like, literally someone, oh God, who's this Harvard? Oh God, this Harvard director. Oh, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he made an essay a couple of years ago saying how officers were directed to not shoot at Black people. They were told to not shoot at Black people. That Acorn shooting the other day, that's just because it was
Real quick,
women.
wait.
Because women shouldn't be. Sorry, go ahead.
You're going from thing to thing. Like I'm assuming a lot of questions here, but we want to be mindful of the time. My first question is, why were they told not to shoot at Black people? Because if you have to put it in context. Say what?
They wouldn't lose their job.
So they wouldn't do their jobs. Why?
Because they were shooting at Black people when they shouldn't have.
Wait. Stay with me.
Because of George Floyd. Post George Floyd, they were told, don't shoot at Black people.
Why?
Because of George Floyd.
What happened with George Floyd?
The kneeling on the neck.
Do you consider that to
and
be
then
a
Black
legal
Lives
action?
Matter movement, and then they closed a bunch of Walmarts, they closed a bunch of CVS's and Walgreens, and they're like, "Hey guys, let's maybe calm down a little bit."
What she's saying, no, I get it.
Right, you're absolutely right, and I'm asking why. Why was that all those stores closed down?
Because they were protesting and robbing them.
Why were they protesting and doing anything and everything to get their frustrations out?
That he was inaccurately murdered.
Do you think he was accurately murdered?
He was already drugged.
No, I'm asking, do you think he was accurately murdered?
He was going to be unlived anyway.
Do you believe in law and order? Hang on.
That don't make it right to just kill somebody.
Wait. Everybody, hang on. One at a time, please. Do you believe in law and order?
Yes.
Do you understand that the courts literally found him guilty and a judge sentenced that person? So what he did is verifiably wrong and illegal.
The cop or George Floyd?
The cop.
No.
So you don't believe in law and order?
Job.
All right, so hold on for a minute, okay? Because all right, so now this is going off based off experience. I have two fathers who are retired police officers. One in a major city called Nashville, Tennessee. And listen, I fought back and forth with both of my dads on this situation, but I look at it like this. Okay, that procedure. I think there comes a kind of time where you can't really tell what that person was thinking when he had his knee on his neck. You don't know if he was like,
no, that's not what happened. Hold on, Royce. Let me stop you there.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Documents literally state that once a person claims to not be able to breathe or to have some sort of physical damage, they literally have to stop and take him to seek medical attention.
That's a fact.
That officer refused to.
The time we're living in where we're defending criminals.
We're not.
No. We're not defending the criminal because
first of all, let me say something. Just because somebody is a criminal does not give anybody the right to kill them, to shoot at them. And that's for anybody, any race.
Yeah, because to be real, he wasn't a threat at that. It's not like he had a gun on him or anything.
No,
but here's the thing where I go back and forth with it because
you don't just kill people.
He may have a criminal history and he's done some devious things, right?
He may have been rightfully cuffed.
Up to that point, he had a fake $20 bill, cool.
Right.
I don't think there was a need for a death of that man, and he wasn't putting up a fight. Right, it would make sense if he was grappling and trying to fight the police. Okay, now we got something to argue about. But
no. But real quick,
what Frapp said though, you're right.
Hang on, one quick point. Okay, that part right there. Even if he was putting in up a fight,
True.
You put him in there, you take him to jail, and then you allow him to go with our constitutional right, which is to be in front of his peers, in front of a judge. It was obsessive, and that's what the judge said, and that's what the jurors of his peers agreed on, and that's why that officer is in jail.
Yeah, because I think that was too much. I mean, there ain't no way. I'm not gonna just put my. I'm not gonna do that. I wouldn't do that. Like,
we're supposed to be talking about love. One last point on this, and then we'll do a part 2 on this particular thing. With the Art of Dragons. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I could do this forever. This is amazing. Miss the Art of Dragons, please.
Oh, how did Michael Jackson die?
That's a conspiracy. I don't know that part.
Nobody really knows the truth.
We can ask Prince too.
You know what? Maybe
Okay. All right. What the public record says, to answer your question. That's everybody's chuckling. What the public record says
he took is that drugs. So it doesn't matter.
Okay. So what the record says, the public record states, is that this doctor wrongfully administered that particular dose for that particular person outside of a particular set of circumstances, which is meant for surgery. He was not under surgery, so it was a slew of things as far as the medical board goes, and then criminally they found him guilty on just overdoing it, right? So that's what the official record says. I'm not here.
Yeah, that's what it says.
That's the next show.
It's just too much. That's all. Too much. Now, should I think he'd be martyred? No, he wasn't a hero. He was a
Y'all about to lose me. I'm sorry, Ashton. Okay, let's talk about love. All right, let's go back to self-love.
We'll bring it back.
How did we get here?
Well, another just to say like this: would he have died if he had not been arrested? Would he have died if he had not been arrested? Do you think he would have died?
Nope. So self-love. See what I did there? Self-love is important. Do you guys agree or disagree? And please tell people where to find you so we can all get some Z's. We'll start with Mr. Royce.
Self-love is the best love. Love thyself. Therefore, you can love others the way you want to be loved. I think I've heard everything I said and all that. Good conversation, man. I love this, man. My name is Royce Massengill. As you see below, you can find me everywhere with that at right there, Royce's Rant. We'll be launching soon. We just get some things together, and I'm telling you, it's going to be straight up the business when I get back on. I'm telling you, you already know the deal, and he already know the deal too because he's going to be on there. So I hope you guys stay tuned to that, and I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. Miss the Art of Dragons.
Follow all of these phenomenal people. They're amazing human beings. And thank you for listening throughout this whole entire thing.
Absolutely. And please, I mean this from the bottom of my heart, come back. All right. I'm gonna bully you into saying yes. I'm 6'4", 350. Just say yes. All right. Miss Asia?
Yes. Thank you for having this platform. And I appreciate having everyone having a mind of their own. And yes, self-love is very imperative. Be still your mind and you'll find it. Oh,
I love it.
Follow me, Manifest to Reality, Instagram.
All right. IG, as the kids say. Man, that was phenomenal. I've been talking to people forever about, like, man, I keep seeing in the comments, people, especially women, have a lot to say about what men are by and large saying on a by and large male platform, which is YouTube. Okay. And so we've been begging women to come on and give their parts and have their voices heard. They shared a lot. We disagree on a lot, but the respect right up to the end there was great. And we have to have these types of conversations again. This idea of love, again, I feel like it's a cheat code. I'm sorry, audience. As a Christian, it's very clear. If my wife does something to offend me, I can go to her and say, hey, I'm not even sure why, but that offended me. How you said that or what you said. And then the Bible has her to say, hey, check that a little bit, Asha, my beautiful wife out back there. And then vice versa. I love this dadgum idea of Proverbs woman as well. You know, she's a business owner. She's making sure the clothes are right. The food is cooked. She's getting up and she's doing all these things with a great heart, with love in her heart. Right? But that doesn't mean a man can't do those things. So that is why I lean on communication, right? Let's learn how to talk to each other. Let's do the work first. And even if you do decide to reverse engineer a relationship, like you can get back on track by going on dates and trying to find information and do the work and figure out where you guys stand long term. And if that doesn't work out, be okay with moving forward. But anyway, they say common sense ain't coming. And man, you saw it on display tonight with myself. I'm missing Chulo Rich. I know he would have stopped me from monologuing so much. I'll do better next week. But until then, man, y'all get a good night's sleep, and we'll see y'all next week. And hopefully we can clear a lot of this stuff up. Peace.
For you. For you. For you. David Ruffin limelight to stay in